Good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan, still working through a little Arizona black lung. Red dust lung is what it is. But good to be here this morning. Everyone's a little bit tired. Stayed up. And I watched as much of that game as I could last night before I fell asleep. I mistimed my Ambien. It happens. I took it a little early thinking game would be resolved. It wasn't. So I fought through that, which is never a good idea. Never a good idea to fight through one. You got to let it take you to the special place of sleep, and I didn't. And I missed the ending, thank God, because I don't think I would have slept. But we'll get into that beyond insane. 2 World Series games that we watched last night, 2-1.
I think we have to at least acknowledge to the 6 a.m. alarm clock people who fell asleep at like 10.
Yeah.
Dodgers won 6-5 in 15 innings, or 18 innings.
18 innings. Freddie Freeman with another World Series walk-off, which is like, that's a pretty cool thing to be known for. It's like, oh, me? Yeah, I played baseball. I was the guy that used to walk off the World Series games once a year. God bless. What a cool thing to be. The walk-off guy from the World Series. Pretty incredible. Hard to hate Freddie. It really is.
Got a different ring for every walk-off.
Yeah, I got a different ring for every walk-off that I hit. It's easy to hate the Dodgers, but it's not easy to hate Freddie Freeman. He's a good dude. And it's just crazy. It was one of the craziest games I've ever seen. It was, and I kept putting myself in the shoes of the fan base of either team. I don't know that I would have made it through. I think I would have had a cardiac arrest watching that game last night, but certainly a lot to talk about there. Really, really good game. I mean, really, really good game and a terrible game. I mean, however you want to look at it. But it was pretty insane. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins as well. Benjamin, how are you? You made it the whole time, didn't you?
I did.
I shut it down, man.
A little got that old tired feeling again after staying up. It didn't end until close to midnight on the West Coast. And then I started thinking about, how about the Blue Jays fans who are watching in the Eastern time zone? It is 3 a.m. You're wired, but your team just lost in just heartbreaking fashion. What a horrible, horrible Tuesday to get up to after that game last night, and you're just exhausted.
All I can say to the Canadians out there that stayed up late is sorry, okay? I'm very sorry that happened to you. My buddy is Canadian, Graham. Played ball with him all week out in Arizona, and he would be, hey, Woodsy, can I throw this in your wagon? Yes, my wagon is over here. I actually didn't bring a wagon. I brought a wagon. I have a wagon over here. But yeah, it's everything you're looking for is there in my wagon. And he's just the funniest dude of all time. Full hardcore, like maple leaf tattoo on his arm, like full Canadian. Let me put that in your wagon. I don't have a wagon. I don't actually own a wagon. I do have a wagon. Mags. His last name's McGee, so we call him Mags. Great dude. Great dude. I'm sure he is beyond devastated this morning. It would have been the worst thing to stay up for and lose. If you're a Dodger fan, hey, congratulations. Something finally broke your way for once. You finally got a break. Finally. Good for you guys. It's been so long. Must be cool to have your home announcer calling your games as well. Just screaming into the microphone that sounds like a clubbed baby seal. Will Smith.
Caught at the wall.
God. Do you still believe in karma and baseball gods? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. They don't exist, my friends. They don't. It's unbelievable. Got to sit through that all night. Everything they do. And it's just excruciating. Nothing ever goes there against them. Nothing wrong ever happens. They can anger the baseball gods. They can lie. They can cheat. They can steal. It doesn't matter. They're going to win. Brace yourselves. I told you. They may win the next 5. We're all going to be dead. All of us. The 7-hour, I don't know if you know this, but Mookie Betts moved to shortstop. Nobody's ever done it in the history of the game, and he's just the best. Makes an error, throws one in the dirt. John Smoltz follows it up.
Oh, he just couldn't agree more.
Yeah, right. It's just insane.
He's a terrific talent.
Yeah, he is a terrific talent. Yeah, and then 30 seconds later, yeah, and during that move to short, I'm like, I don't. We know if everybody knows this. You've told us for the last 4 games. He's driving me insane. I can't bring myself to watch it on mute, though. I just can't bring myself to mute it and find like the Toronto. I can't do it.
Foreman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
Oh, just kill me, Dad. I'm glad I got that out of my system. I had a bit of a other than the like when you if you've never taken an Ambien, I have to take it to sleep. My brain doesn't stop. Okay, it doesn't stop. If I didn't take one, I would be like Memento. I would never sleep. I would just be laying in bed, my brain just going yeah all night long. So it makes me sleep. I take it, and you got between 30 and 45 after you take it. Okay, so I took it at about 8, which would have been 3 hours after the game started. I should be good. I should have timed it out perfectly. Well, didn't work that way. And then once you fight through it, right? Once you stay awake through it, you get even kind of more loopy, but you're not tired anymore. Now you're just anxious because you know you've stayed up through it. So I'm laying there last night, and I remembered, I was like, oh, I got to get something out of my baseball bag that I left. So I get up, go get it. Now, there was a dude on my team that was an interesting character. I'll leave it at that. Spent the majority of the week telling everybody that he was, in fact, the greatest baseball player of all time. Tweaked his hammy in the first inning of the first game, I think. Spent the rest of the tournament with his pants down in the dugout and that really hot taint cream that I have from fantasy camp. The one that Jake Peavy used to smear on his taint to go out and pitch. The one that you need gloves to put on.
Medical grade
heat, right? And he would take the gloves and he spent the majority of the tournament with his pants down rubbing this cream on both of his hamstrings for innings. And I mean, hey, you're up third this inning, and you have to pull his pants back on. He's really the only one that used it. And then he put it back in my bag, and he didn't put the top on. And so it melted.
No.
And so now there's hot stuff that's melted throughout my bag. So actually what I went to get out last night, because I had left a couple of my flavored Zins in there, left some of my flavored Zins in there, and they were covered with this stuff. So I grabbed it out and I went, what the? I went, oh my God.
Now it's on your fingers.
On. So I go in, I get the paper towels, I'm like wiping it off, but guess where it is? It's all over my fingers. I get in bed, kind of a little tingly. I kind of forget about it. I start adjusting certain areas of my body, start rubbing my eyes, the normal places that you touch. And then I was like, oh, that
is a burning.
That's a little bit of a searing, hot feeling that is penetrating into my scrotum.
I've never used your cream, but I've cut like jalapenos in the kitchen, and you get it on your fingers accidentally, and then you touch somewhere, and you realize, oh no, that was a bad mistake.
Made a big mistake. Oh,
no, Rich in the chat says it must be agonizing. Must be torture to not be able to enjoy one of the greatest games of all time in a sport you love because jealousy won't allow you. Sounds agonizing. It's actually great. It was fun as hell. I mean, I had fun just there talking about that. Hey, it's a message that I think Dodger fans need to hear too. We don't like you. We'll never like you. We don't like your team. We're not supposed to like your team. That's how, I think that's my number one beef with Dodger fans is they're like, you have to like us and respect us. I respect you. I absolutely respect you. I actually am one of the people that says, spend money. You got money, spend it. It'd be a bigger crime if you guys pocketed all the money that you got from your TV deal and all the escrow accounts from Shohei. I am a spend money guy. I'm screaming at Padres ownership, spend way more. 100%. I've never changed them.
And I think we all enjoyed the game
I
last
enjoyed
night.
the game, but I don't like your team. I can't stand your team. I hate your team. And mostly I hate your fan base because you guys are buffoons. That's why.
It also bothers you that they do things that always seem to come back to haunt
Correct.
our team and other teams.
Every team gets back. The Yankees, as poor as they played last year, Dodgers played an equally poor game last night. Equally. Kicking the ball around, throwing to the wrong base, terrible throws, bad base running. Did it bite them? No, it didn't. It didn't. That's where I'm coming from, Chad. Also, you're in a Padres chat. What do you think's going to happen? We're a Padres radio show. You want me to get on here and start unbuckling Shohei's pants? I'm not going to.
We're glad to have you, absolutely. But you're not going to get lovely Dodgers talk here.
No, and again, I'm going to have fun with it because that game was bananas. A real hater, like a real person that didn't enjoy it, just wouldn't watch. I don't miss a beat, dude. I love the World Series. I love it. But no, we hate you guys. You pretend that you don't hate us, but you do, and it's okay. What I'm telling you is it's okay. Let the hate flow through you. That's what I want. I want that rivalry, that Red Sox Yankees type scene. And we were getting close there for a while. We really were. It was getting to be, must-see TV. But I don't know, man. I think that's the good stuff in baseball. But yeah, not everybody's going to like you guys. And that's what you need to get through your head is that you are the evil empire. And people don't like the evil empire. No one's going to come in here and defer with their hat in hand and be like, oh, speaking of defer, no one's going to come in here with their hat in hand and be like, I got to give it up, man. They're just the greatest. No, F those guys.
Nobody
That's how
outside
I feel.
of Yankees fans like the Yankees. Nobody outside of Patriots fans like the Patriots.
100%.
That's what comes with the territory.
The Patriots fans, they knew that. Yankee fans, They knew that. They owned it. Dodger fans are like, why don't you like us? You have to like us. Why don't you like us? We're so great. We're so cool. No, that's not how it works. But a lot of you guys are new to baseball, and I get it too. If I didn't like baseball 5 years ago, and a guy like Shohei Ohtani came to my team, 100%. 100% would get you into baseball. I would fully understand that. So I give you a pass for that. I give you a pass because a lot of you are brand new. A lot of you guys are old school. I talked to a lot of the old school guys as well. Those guys are diehard. And I like those guys. I get along with those guys. They know where I'm coming from. But the new generation is like, you have to like us. I don't expect Dodger fans to like Fernando Tatis Jr. I don't expect them to like Manny Machado. I know you don't. Good for you. But don't get mad when people don't like you. Be the evil empire and be it all the way. That's my advice. Take it for what it's worth.
And enjoy this because,
Bro,
you know what?
Enjoy it. It's unreal.
Even for the evil empires, doesn't come around all that often.
Right. It doesn't
where
last
you get
forever.
a run like this. So winning a World Series title, on the verge, 2 wins away from winning another one. Doesn't happen that often. Enjoy it, Dodgers fans.
Yeah,
this
no doubt.
is incredible what your team has accomplished over these last couple of years.
And Rich he says, there's a lot of good attendance numbers at Petco Park, if we're being honest about newcomers. Bro, 100%. This team finally started to give a rip about the product that they put on the field, okay? But I know 50-year fans like Ben. I know 65-year-old fans. I know Major Garrett's been here from the very beginning. They suffered through a lot of stuff, which makes it tougher for them to root for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't want to take too much credit, but I also think that we work hard at making sure our new fans are the right kind of fans. When you listen to the show, you don't have Dodger shows up there.
You really don't.
That kind of have indoctrinated you on, all right, here's how we're doing it. Here's how we're fanning. Here's what we like. Here's what we don't like. That's what we do every morning here on this station. And we talk about the Padres and we try to make the fans savvier and better fans. And I think for the most part, we've succeeded pretty well. Yeah, there's some new Padres fans that, that's what's in guys that don't get it yet, but we have our own crosses to bear. But I think for the most part, we've done a good job with the new fans who've come around to Petco Park in the last few years.
Yeah, and I did see quite a few empty seats at Dodger Stadium last night, Rich, in the World Series game. And there were tons in the CS and tons in the DS. And I saw every excuse in the book. You guys are spoiled. You know it. But no, I mean, it's you guys are you are the evil empire. You got to wear it. You be Darth Vader, like be him. You think Darth Vader gave a rat's ass about what anybody thought? No, he's like, I'm Darth Vader. Who's better than me? That's how you have to be. That's what I think. That's my opinion. And I hate Joe Davis. I will always hate Joe Davis. I think he's terrible, and I think he's overrated. And I'll wear it. I'll say it to his face. He's going to have to stand on 4 phone books, but I'll say it to his face. Believe you me.
And you get to have that opinion about
100%.
any broadcaster you like or don't like.
Correct. But that was a really, really fascinating, interesting World Series game.
Eric says, oh my gosh, Woods, my neighbor gave me this exact same speech. He can't even fathom why we see the Dodgers as the evil empire.
I know.
He says the Yankees are evil, not the Dodgers.
That's therein lies the problem, dude. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for being here for sure. But like, therein lies the fact that they rack their brains and why don't people like us? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Shohei's likable, Freddie's likable, Mookie's really likable. You should all like us. No, we don't.
We don't.
Individually,
Maybe.
as you said, yeah.
Individually, yeah.
Freddie, yeah, pretty likable. Mookie, fine. But
You know what they say? If everybody that you run into in your life is a jerk,
Yeah, then you're the jerk.
you might be the jerk.
You may be the jerk.
Like, if nobody likes you, you might be a little bit unlikable.
Yeah, correct.
Like, I don't.
It's just it's an interesting case study in fandom. It is, and I don't understand the need to like. Don't you? If it were me, if I were a Dodger fan, I would be the biggest a-hole you've ever seen. I'm an a-hole anyway. Imagine I'd walk around beating my chest all day long. Not on Twitter defending. Anybody could have signed Freddie and anybody could have signed Shohei. All you've done the whole World Series is defend, the players that you bought, which again, I support. I think it's great. If my owner didn't do that, I'd lose my mind. If my owner pocketed $800 million or $1 billion a year and spent $250 on payroll, I'd be coming after him with this letter opener that's in my hand right now. For real. I really, really would. I'd be livid. I think we all would be.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing with this money that we're giving you? We're filling this stadium. Spend that money on the players.
parking was $80 for regular cars and $150 for oversized cars.
The funny
at
thing
Dodger
is,
Stadium yesterday.
they don't even own that. It's their old. Who's the
That's
old?
Frank
it's
McCourt.
Yeah, McCourt owns that, which is hysterical. That's hysterical to me. Their old owner who put them in bankruptcy, that they had to get bailed out by Major League Baseball, still owns those parking lots. And he's like, I don't really have the team anymore, but let me gouge the fans as much as I can. It's just fascinating to me. But listen, that is a really great baseball team. I'm not an idiot. I've said it millions of times. I'm a hater. I'm not an idiot. That's a really great baseball team. They play the game mostly the right way. My problem is, I think, is when they don't play the game the right way, they still get rewarded. And that's the part that makes me want to bang my head against the wall. But interesting game last night, long game last night. Kudos to anyone that actually sat up and finished that game, Ben. I just couldn't do it, man. I just could not get through it. I wanted to. Believe me, I was so locked into it.
I texted you guys like just before 11.
Paulie's
I was
like, I'm fading.
I think it was probably like 14th or 15th inning, and I gave in. It got to the point where I go, I'm not a fan of either of these teams. This has been a great game, like bar none, a great game.
Phenomenal.
But I'm like, I'm not a fan of either of these teams. I'm waking up in 5 hours.
I know.
Like,
I got a show to do.
This.
I will say the Joe Davis baby seal scream has jarred something loose in my brain, and now I have a slight headache. It also could be the hot cream that I've rubbed on my forehead that could be searing into my brain as well. But no, man, that was nuts. That was nuts. And again, I don't know how anybody. I understand if you're a football guy, basketball guy, or a hockey guy, they're great. They're great in their own right. There is nothing like that. There's just nothing. And I'll tell you the other thing, and I'll stand on this too. I don't want that in June. I don't want that in July. I don't want it in August. It's perfect the way that it is. The Ghost Runner, the Manfred Man, whatever you want to call it, is absolutely okay for the regular season because, frankly, if they did that for an entire week, I don't think I'd make it out alive. I really don't. Because we have to watch the games.
It
we
would wreck both teams.
It would wreck
in the
you.
regular season. It's going to kind of wreck them for tonight's game, Game 4 of the World Series. But if it was in the regular season, there's no point in just destroying two teams for a week and a half
Right.
because they played an 18-inning game.
I'm so interested to see last night's game was fascinating. Tonight's game is where it's like, okay, who can we use and who should we use? Pretty tough loss last.
If you're the Blue Jays.
Dodgers are actually in better position.
I mean, Dodgers are probably going to have Shohei Ohtani pitch at least 7 innings
That's
tonight.
also a very good point. And if Shane Bieber can match him pitch for pitch, they have a chance. If he doesn't, they won't. But they used a lot of guys, but they didn't use up a lot of pitches with some of those guys. So they'll actually have probably a fresher bullpen than the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. But Toronto, I give them a lot of credit, man. They fight. They're not intimidated by any stretch. Padres were intimidated, I think, a little bit by the Dodgers, certainly this year. And the Blue Jays are not. I mean, they're literally throwing up guys. You're like, who are you? And they're out there grinding out ABs and playing out of position. But they still got some star power, but they lost a big one last night. George Springer with what looks like an oblique. It's literally the kiss of death for a hitter. You'd rather wear one on the wrist. Which
he did.
Which he's
did. One on the knee. And he's just
he's
walking wounded.
He's as banged up as they come. But when you saw him grab his side, that's it. You can't swing. I mean, you cannot swing. You can't throw.
Ugh.
There's nothing you can do. And they're saying, look, it doesn't look good right now for George Springer. So that's a huge, tremendous, tremendous blow. Ty France getting a little action last night. San Diego State's own. Had a couple of chances to, give this team the lead.
There's a lot of moments last night going, I didn't know he was on this team.
100%.
Oh, I didn't know he was on this team.
100%.
You saw plenty of guys who hadn't gotten any work at all in the playoffs needed to be pressed into service late in that game.
It was nuts. Kudos to actually both of the managers having to manage a game like that last night. Cannot have been fun to manage one of those. But Dodgers come out on top. Nothing bites them.
Imagine had this been before the National League adopted the designated hitter. Would have been in the park where you would have had the pitchers batting and needing pinch hitters for 18 innings. That would have been even wilder. The manager's job a little bit easier because of the DH rule being implemented a few years ago.
Yeah, agreed, man. But we'll get into all of the game. It was spectacular. I mean, we honestly could do 2 hours on it, right? If there was
so many nuances.
Yeah.
Big moments.
If there was a baseball game you could do 2 hours on, it's that one.
Yeah, we'll get into it starting in our next segment. We'll set the menu for what we've got coming up this morning. Here on Ben and Woods, we do appreciate everybody who stayed up late, getting up early to be with us. We're here until 10 o'clock. Thank you for joining us. We'll check traffic and get things started here with Ben and Woods on a Tuesday. Glad to have you with us, Padres fans and Dodgers fans on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, Woods and I going to remind you, if you have not gotten your estate documents in order, the responsible thing to do to take care of your family is to go online to trustandwill.com, go through their easy process. You're just answering some questions like you would in any survey online, and in less than an hour, possibly quite a bit less than an hour, you will have an official will or trust that can be mailed to your house and ready for your family in the hopefully long-term event that you're going to need it someday, long time from now, but you'll have it if you need it.
You guys see the commercial last night?
I did.
Yeah, I did too.
I did.
I know those guys, Trust and Will. They actually showed you on the TV commercial how easy it is. They got Ben and I to tell you how easy it is because it really is. I'm not very savvy with the computers and whatnot, but Trust and Will makes it so simple. Also, they make it affordable. Use the code radio20 when you check out. They'll give you 20% off of your trust or will.
Trust keeps your family out of probate court, which is a long, expensive process that keeps your assets out of their hands for potentially months after you're gone. But you can avoid all that with the trust. Again, go to trustandwill.com. Use code radio20 at checkout. Get 20% off your trust or will at trustandwill.com.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Just a reminder, all guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Now, we don't have any guests scheduled on the program today.
No, it's not for a lack of effort. We've got some irons. We put some irons out in the fire. Is that
Feelers. Yeah, we
Feelers.
put feelers out. There
Not
are irons in the fire.
That's different.
We got irons in the fire. Potential guests
there's
who could
always
join
irons
us
in
at
the
some
fire.
point.
There's always, yeah.
It's also a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during the off season where we're typically guestless.
Yeah, good blacksmithing reference in 2025 is still
True.
very appropriate these days. We've got irons in the fire.
We do.
Because we're about to, hammer that metal down into a show. But of course, as you mentioned, we could probably spend the entire rest of the show on the game that happened last night at Dodger Stadium. We'll start coming up here and talk about some of the ins and outs, ups and downs of last night's 6-5 win for the LA Dodgers to take a 2-1 series lead. We will have our regular features today. Don't do this coming up at 7:20. Have another game of Take on Woods at 8:20 and the Reindl Report on our 9 o'clock hour. Our Padres Smörgåsbord today is going to go through some of those potential free agent candidates we talked about yesterday. Jim Bowden's list, top 50 free agents, and we're going to look at, if money was no object, who would be the best fit for the San Diego Padres today?
Kyle Schwarber. Oh, did you want me to wait?
No, that's certainly a pick. Is that really who you'd want? I mean, we'll talk about it. Is that like money? No, you would spend that kind of money on Kyle Schwarber.
You just said money's no object.
Right.
So I'm taking money out of the equation. I want Kyle Schwarber here. I need somebody that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, even with a marine layer or whatever.
Yeah, but you're not making him younger. I don't care. He's still
He hit, what did he hit last year? 57
He
balls?
did, yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Let's say he hits 35. Great.
That's a good point.
let's say he hits 30. Team leader right there. So yeah, that's my guy.
If he had the worst drop off ever and hit half of those,
Yeah.
he still fits in the lineup.
Still damn fine designated hitter for this team.
Keep in mind,
Pete Alonso.
even if money's no object, you don't want to spend it stupidly.
I do. I like to
You
spend
do.
money stupidly.
So
and I don't think it's stupid.
7 years, $270 million. You would do that.
You said money is no, I'm assuming when you say money is no object, that means for the length and the girth of the contract.
I'm saying you can afford it, but it does come at the expense of other decisions.
See, I don't
you're
think
making.
you know what money is no object means. If I say, guys, dinner on me, money is no object. That means you can order whatever you want. That means you can get, you're like, I've never tried Louis Trey. I want to try Louis Trey. When I say money, what I don't mean is, hey, no appetizers. Money's no object, but don't get an appetizer, no dessert for you, and no wine. That means money is an object. When you say money is no object, bring me Kyle Schwarber. Bring me Kyle Schwarber to hit balls out of the ballpark.
And resign Michael King and
only for one player.
one player.
Money is no
Okay.
object for one player.
Yeah, maybe it's not him if it's one guy.
You get one guy. You can't just sign every guy.
But maybe
Money
it
is
is.
no object.
Maybe it is.
One. You get one pick. It's not a
certainly
bad
an
pick.
argument.
There's an argument for
I think you
Schwarber.
have to think about pitchers potentially, though.
Yeah.
In addition to position players, just you get your one guy that you can splurge on essentially, and then you have to fill out the rest of your roster being very budget conscious because you just spent a ton of money on your one guy.
I'm interested to see what your splurge looks like. After your money is no object, he's like, ooh, Luis Ariz is pretty decent. 2 at 14. When you say money's no object, take money out of it entirely and take the length of the contract out. Like just money's no object. Who do you want on the San Diego Padres? That's how I would do it. But the smorgasbord.
I
is
think
your
for
bet.
1 year, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's just like a 1 year
1 year
deal, Kyle Schwarber is a great call for next year.
Funny, man, is I used to really loathe the 1 year deal. And now the older I get, the way that baseball is going, I'm such a fan of a 1 year deal. I really am. I'm
As
just
a fan?
As a fan, I'm like, as much as it's like, man, I love Manny. I'm glad we got him locked up here. You can see there's going to be a decline coming if there hasn't been already. Same with Xander. Jackson, you feel pretty good about because he's got, 9 years left at very, very low money. So you're going to have those guys. Toddy's still a great, great contract. But, those anchors that you were so excited about signing 5-6 years ago, you're like, yes, we got him for this. When it doesn't pan out to a World Series, that's when you start to panic. And I think there's a lot of Padres fans panicked about the long-term commitments. The Yu Darvish commitment is a massive one. He's still got years left on his deal at a lot of money. Those are the ones that Crony doesn't bother me. Crony is for $11 million is valuable. Highest OBP on the team. Plays multiple positions, plays them well. $11 million for Jake Cronenworth doesn't. I lose zero sleep over it. Zero.
He was unfortunately one of my answers in our topic yesterday that we talked about.
The trade?
Which player from the Padres 40-man roster could you see possibly being traded?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not advocating for it.
No.
But he's valuable.
He is valuable.
And he's affordable.
And these days, man, there's a lot worse players than Jake Cronenworth making more than $11 million a year. A lot worse that don't play multiple positions. So I think money no object. It's an interesting take.
First, though, let's talk about last night's game. It will go down in history as one of, if not the best World Series game that's ever been witnessed, and we will talk about it right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Toyota Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. We are looking at a busy ride this morning, guys. South on 163 before Friars Road, there was an overnight fatal accident. Lanes are clear, but you may still see a little activity over to the right shoulder. Also, southbound 15 before Adams Avenue, there's a collision over to the right shoulder. Reports of a crash in the Arrow Drive off-ramp, northbound 15, and collision on South 805 on the 8th Street off-ramp. Couple vehicles over to the right shoulder. Toyota of Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's funny because the game lasted 6 hours and 39 minutes that you almost forget some of the important sequences that happened early in the game, including...
So you won't forget is Dalton Varsho. He won't forget the early sequences that happened in the game.
Top of the second inning when Bo Bichette was on first base, nobody out, a rally burgeoning for the Blue Jays. What looked clearly like ball 4, high above the plate, and Bo Bichette starts, trotting over to second base, and it turns out it was not ball 4, it was strike 2, and Bo Bichette gets picked off. I think that it ended up going walk single after that. So you think 1 run in, 2 runners on. You've got the early makings of a big inning for the Toronto Blue Jays that was short-circuited by either a mistake by the runner or you can argue just bad communication by the home plate umpire.
The mistake from the runner does not come without the delayed non-ball call from the umpire. And there are quiet umpires out there. Ran into a couple last week, and it freaks you out when they don't say anything or they do something out of cadence for them. And I think John Schneider handled it really well. Went out and said, hey, man, in a game of this magnitude, in an atmosphere like this, it's very loud. Everyone's kind of locked in. Like, say it. So we know. And if you could be a little quicker with your call, that would really, really help us, since you just threw a piano on our entire rally, just out of the top floor on our rally.
So Mark Wegner, who was the umpire, is known for being a little bit slower on the call. You could hear it in the replay. Like, they had the audio. It certainly was picked up by the microphones, what sounded like a strike call. I don't know what
it was late, though.
It was a little late.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what you could hear when you're actually on the field. What could Dalton Varsho hear?
Right.
What could Bo Bichette hear? You certainly could see that the pitch was high, fairly clearly high. If this was next year, you could tap your head and turn it into ball 4, and you have runners at first and second and nobody out. A completely different rally once the ABS system is in place, but they didn't have the opportunity to do that. And Bo Bichette, just wandering off first base was easy pickings for the LA Dodgers.
That's a huge out.
It was just such a big out early in that game.
Such a huge out. Also, look, let's spread the blame around. Bo Bichette's played in 7 billion baseball games in his life. He has seen a 3-1 pitch at the top of the zone and knows exactly that's ball 4. And so he starts trotting. Also, first base coach, you need to be on it. You need to be on it. You need to be locked into the home plate umpire and make sure you got it. No. Not yet. Stay. Here. Whatever you want to say. It's all of their job. Varsho, the interesting one, so he's up, pitch comes, he thinks it's a ball, he turns his body, he's walking away from the umpire. Then you and we all hear, strike! And then Varsho throws his bat.
He stopped for a second, like looked back, like,
and then,
did I hear that right? No.
And then
it was definitely a ball, and then he threw his bat.
So as soon as Bichette sees him throw his bat, if I'm on first, I'm doing the same thing. As soon as I see the bat go, I'm gone. I'm walking down to the second.
Yeah.
And so it was a really, I mean, it's pivotal. They're all pivotal in games like that. So that was a pivotal call early. Still, Blue Jays had plenty of chances, Ben, to win that game despite that call.
The Dodgers go on then to take a 2-0 lead on a pair of solo home runs. Teoscar Hernandez in the second inning, Shohei Ohtani in the third inning off Max Scherzer, who wasn't bad. He limited it to the solo home runs, but certainly is not, someone that's going to be a guy that, that you can count on to stop the LA Dodgers offense at this point in his career. I actually saw Steven Strasburg yesterday. He was named a new special assistant to SDSU head coach Kevin Vance, and he talked about it a little bit. I asked him, what do you think of Max Scherzer pitching tonight? And he goes, I thought he was old when I pitched with him, in my career, and now he's still out doing it years and years after I've retired. It's pretty amazing that Max Scherzer is still out there pitching in the World Series at the age that he is and keeping his team in the game.
Yeah, being effective.
Gave them a chance, kept it a 2-0 game until the top of the fourth inning when the Blue Jays did what they've done so well this postseason. They took advantage of a couple of runners on base with a big home run. And once again, it was Alejandro Kirk. Such a great strategy in that at-bat. You get the Tommy Edman error, a walk, and then an error. So you've got 2 runners on. And you could see that early in the game, Tyler Glasnow, when he was in any stressful situation, had often gone to the first pitch curveball to try to get ahead of batters because no one's going to swing. They're going to look to attack a fastball, right? So I'm going to throw a curveball, see if I can get strike 1, and then I've got the count in my favor. But Kirk was he was sitting on that. He was looking for curveball in that situation, waited on it, drove it out of the ballpark, and gave the Toronto Blue Jays a 3-2 lead there. They had an absolute chance at that point with the lead, quiet down the crowd a little bit. They added on one more in that inning. It was their game for the taking, at least for a moment there in the middle innings.
This is when things get weird in the playoffs where guys start, I think, maybe overthinking more than they would in the regular season because the games have such magnitude and such weight. Tyler Glasnow has one of the most electric fastballs in baseball and kind of abandoned it really for the curveball. And that's not your game. Pitch your game. And I understand that, hey, they're watching film of me where I was chucking my fastball. They're a good fastball hitting team. So I'm gonna fool them. And I'm going to throw a bunch of curveballs. They've adjusted on the fly to that too. For me, if I'm his pitching coach, if I'm Mark Pryor, and we sit down to game plan, you know what it is? Go be Tyler Glasnow. Go do what you do. Go throw that 97, 98 at the top of the zone. Throw your curveball off that, and let's have a field day today. Let's not go out and start flipping curveballs up there for the first pitch and let these guys adjust to a slower pitch with more of a propensity to hang in the zone that these guys can head out of the ballpark. If they beat you on 98, they beat you. I'm playing to my strengths. I'm not going to go out there and do something completely different that I haven't done all season. Mike Petriello says, what an unexpected way of pitching for Glasnow, just totally abandoning his four-seamer. I get the Jay's strength, and that's fine, but that's not how he succeeds. And he kind of posted the chart up there. But, man, the clock strikes October, and guys go, I know I was successful this way. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to hit left-handed. It just doesn't make any sense. Go out and be Tyler Glasnow, and he probably doesn't get any trouble at all if he just pitches the way he's capable of. I
think we all agree Alejandro Kirk is
such a stud, man.
Such a fun player to watch.
He really is. He is such a stud. I have a buddy that pitched against him down in TJ when he was like 16.
Really?
Yeah. And said, I go, how do you do? He goes, oh, you like 3 doubles off of me. Like he was 16 years old down there playing with the big boys. And I love the story, the brief story in between the Mookie Betts transitioning to shortstop stories and the Shohei Ohtani live check-ins. I did like that story that a guy went down to scout someone else, and couldn't take his eyes off of the 5'8", little guy back there that just, and when he brought it back to the team, they're like, you're crazy. This guy's not a big league catcher. And they're like, just trust me. And look at him now. He out there getting huge hits. And when they pulled him from that game, I was like, that's a mistake. You had to take into account that game was going to go, extras at least, or right to the wire. Tyler Heineman.
They left him in until extras, right? It was like the 12th that they took him out or something.
When did they pull him? Heineman got like 3 ABs, did he not?
That doesn't mean that he didn't
That's
stay
true.
in until the 12th inning. They played 18
They did play 18 innings.
I wondered about that, thinking, being as a catcher, how many innings can you really? I mean,
it's the World
Smith
Series.
was in there the whole game.
Yeah, it's the World Series. I just thought that was a move, unless he was hurt or banged up, something we may not know about. When did he come out? I thought it was early for a pinch runner.
I feel like it was early in extra innings, but he played the whole game, I believe.
They all blend together.
Regulation game. Very savvy move by the Blue Jays in spring training. Signed him to a 5-year, $58 million contract extension. That looks like it's going to pay off big-time dividends. So they've got the lead 4-2. And in a game that was defined by, how long the bullpens went and didn't give up runs. He was the 12th inning, right? Yeah. It was interesting because it was a failure of the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen. Mason Fluharty, the left-hander, whose job is basically one time during the game, we're going to give you the Ohtani, Betts, Freeman lane, and we need you to get through that. He's their best left-handed reliever. He was unable to get through it in the bottom of the 5th inning when Shohei Ohtani delivered an RBI double, and then Freddie Freeman had the RBI single that tied the game at 4.
That was the turning point.
That was a huge moment in the game for the Dodgers.
They kept saying, well, they only have one lefty down there, and it's Fluharty. And I'm like, what about Eric Lauer that you had? But he's more of a long relief, not a high leverage type guy. Ended up pitching in several high leverage areas last night and did a pretty admirable job for the Toronto Blue Jays. But I don't know, man. And the thing is Fluharty's going to get that exact same call tonight. He's going to get the exact same call tonight. He's going to have to go out and get Freeman. He's going to have to get Ohtani if they even decide to throw one in the zone. You may just bang that entirely and not have to go to Fluharty there and let him go after Freeman. But yeah, it's very difficult when you don't have a power lefty, an Adrian Morejon type that can go in and get a Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, to be fair, even Morejon, he's going to give it up once in a while, especially against players the caliber that the Dodgers have at the top of their lineup. They will have to go again, as you said, to Mason Fluharty and give him that opportunity. But the game was tied. Still had some more drama coming up in the 7th inning. Bo Bichette is 2 out, RBI. Well, it was a single. Looked more like a double down the line, but he can't run. But Vlad Guerrero certainly can, and he came all the way around from first base to score, tapping the plate. A very dramatic moment.
Anybody else think he was going to be out by 40 feet? I mean, because they showed Smith lining up for the ball, and he had to go reach for it. And I looked, and I'm like, Vladdy's not even in the picture. And I'm screaming, why are you sending him? And then because Smith had to go up the line, come all the way back across. Vladdy slides in and gives it the old taparoo, and they score. It was electric. I mean, the whole thing was electric. It was play after play after play.
Well, you certainly had other runners thrown out on the base paths. He was not, but others were. Freddie Freeman at home. You had some other amazing plays by the defense, but another pivotal moment in the bottom of the 7th inning when Sir Anthony Dominguez.
Oh my God!
Clearly not what he was trying to do, but you're thinking, are they going to walk him? Are they going to intentionally walk him? And he just throws one right down the middle to Shohei Ohtani. Right down the middle.
After a mound visit, hey, Sir Anthony, it's your old pal John Schneider here, your skipper. This guy's pretty good. He can get to a lot of balls in a lot of different quadrants. Listen, attack him away, attack him up and in, make sure it gets up, make sure it gets in. The one place you can't throw it is right down the C word. Don't throw it there. Right down the D. Don't throw it there. All right, I got you, Skip. First pitch. BP fastball laid in. Shohei's like, oh, wow, all right. Boom. It goes oppo because he wasn't expecting it. He wasn't expecting a middle ball. He's like, oh, let's hit this out that way. Gone.
I didn't hear from Sir Anthony Dominguez after the game. I wonder, were you trying to go up and in, up and away, down and away? Who knows?
Guys miss location. Guys miss location all the time. Guys don't miss location at that level in that game like that. That was horrible.
And then we settled in for the long haul. We will continue talking about Game 3 of the World Series, hour number 2 of Ben and Woods, coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Or Tier 1 Hector. He is a rabid Dodger fan, but he's a good dude. He lost his father this morning and just wanted to offer up our condolences. That's a tough one, man. And said his dad lived really close to where Alejandro Kirk used to play down in TJ. So shout out to you, man. Thinking about you. And hope things get better. What do you say? That's a tough one.
Well, should we give him the?
Yeah, well, go ahead.
The Ben and Woods,
Mr. Trujillo. Mr. Trujillo.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Rest in peace.
Can't even imagine if you're a Dodgers fan coming off the exhilarating high of last night's game. Only to wake up to that news this morning. And Hector, very sorry for what went on. Where did we leave off? We left off after the seventh inning, and it's 5-5 now.
Yeah. 5-5.
So any run now at this point probably going to be the decider. And no one can score. The Blue Jays had a chance in the eighth inning. Tommy Edman made the phenomenal play to throw out Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at third base.
I like the aggressive base running. It would have taken a perfect play to get you there at third, and they got him.
You get to the ninth inning, and John Schneider decides we're not even going to let Shohei Ohtani beat us. Intentionally walked with one out, nobody on, gets the Barry Bonds treatment in the World Series. Lots of stats about how no one's ever been put on as the winning run without anybody on base with an intentional walk in a World Series game before.
You saw the graphic flash up earlier in his last 6 Dodger Stadium at bats, 6 for 6, 4 home runs, 2 doubles.
Yeah.
And you go, who does that? How does that? How no one can improve on that? Next pitch, gone. Of
7
course,
for 7.
7 for 7 with 5 home runs and 2 doubles. I mean, it is.
What did he have? 4 intentional walks?
So that was the first of 4 intentional walks. They also intentionally walked him as well.
Yeah, everyone.
It was the new strategy going forward. Now, Ohtani tried to make them pay for it by attempting to steal second base. Got there ahead of the throw. He got there ahead of the throw, but sliding too hard came off the base. Really nice tag, keeping it on at second base, and that thwarted any Dodger rally in the ninth inning. So we went to extra innings. Top of the 10th inning. Could have been a very quick extra inning game because in the top of the 10th inning, Nathan Lukes came up with a 2-out double, and you had Davis Schneider running from first base, and he gets the old send, thinking the ball in the corner might be one that the Dodgers misplay, but they didn't, and he was out by a good 8 to 10 feet, I'd say.
Yeah, Schneider was in for Ty France to pinch run, which makes sense. Didn't look super fast to me, but he was out by 15 feet. I mean, there was just nowhere close. And I think, the previous Teoscar play where he threw the ball up the line, I don't know. Like, what do you do if you're the third base coach? Everyone was making a big deal. Wasn't Vladdy on deck? Yeah, Vladdy was on deck. Would have been second and third. They're going to walk Vladdy for Kiner-Falefa. So, okay, bases loaded. Kiner-Falefa puts the ball in play. Could have scratched out a run, but again, trying to make plays in the World Series makes a lot of sense to me. It does. Trying to force and push the envelope, especially on a defensive right fielder like Teoscar Hernandez. He does have a really good arm, but he can be wildly inaccurate as well, as he showed you a couple of innings before. If I'm a Blue Jays fan, I kind of understand it. I would be called a homer if I was on Toronto Sports Radio this morning, but I think I would say, okay, I kind of understand that.
Bottom of the 10th inning, the Dodgers had a chance, 2 on for Tommy Edman. Jeff Hoffman got him to pop out to end the inning. No heroics there for Edman. Get to the 11th. Ohtani is intentionally walked again for the second straight time. Braden Fisher strands him and another base runner. So we go to the 12th inning, and that's where the Blue Jays would load the bases, and Clayton Kershaw got his moment. You wondered, well, how desperate are they going to have to be? They put him on the roster. There was always the possibility, if he's on the roster, you're going to have to use him in a game like this. And they did. They brought him in with the bases loaded in the top of the 12th inning to face Nathan Lukes.
Wow.
And an 8-pitch at-bat got him to ground to second base.
Yeah, Lukes swung at ball 4 at least twice in that at-bat. That would have walked in a run, and who knows. But again, you're up there trying to do something. You're trying to give your team a lead. You like where you stand against Clayton Kershaw's fastball. If he can if he throws you one in the zone, you can pound it. He doesn't throw very hard anymore. But he made the pitches he need to, man. And he got out of that inning, and credit to him. No one, including Dodger fans, thought he was getting out of it. No one. Dave Roberts too. He warmed up. He threw 5 innings in the bullpen yesterday. And Dave was so reluctant to pull the trigger. So reluctant. He's like, we're just going to ride Sheehan for another one. Let's just ride Sheehan for another one. And Clayton came in, got the 1 out that he needed, and he was done.
Knowing how his last appearance went in the division series, when he got beat up in the second inning of his, I would think that Clayton Kershaw is going to be much happier to know.
Oh, yeah.
If that's my last appearance ever,
I'll take it.
I was part of an incredible 6-5 win. Now, then we settled into the long relievers in the pen. And you always wonder, what are you going to get out of these guys who haven't really been used extensively in the postseason? They've been sitting at the back of the bullpen, mostly for blowout games or the possibility of extra innings. And for the Blue Jays, it was former Padre Eric Lauer. For the Dodgers, it was a combination of Henriquez and Will Klein. Guys, you're going, I didn't even know these guys were on the postseason roster for these teams, but they come in and, you start seeing zeros after zeros put up. In the 14th inning, Will Smith had a chance off Eric Lauer, but thought he had it, gave it even I wouldn't call it a bat flip, but a bat drop that had some intent, as Dave Roberts would say.
Oh,
he had some intent signaling to the world that I just walked this game off.
He thought he had it.
He thought he had it, and he didn't.
Yeah, he did. He did not.
As the night wore on, the ball was not carrying. So the 14th goes by. The 15th, Ohtani is walked again. That's his 8th time reaching base and his 4th straight intentional walk. The Blue Jays got through that inning.
There was intent behind it.
Yep.
Bottom of the 16th inning, Teoscar Hernandez nearly ended it on a fly ball to center. Didn't quite get that one. And it just keeps going and going and going until, of course, the bottom of the 18th inning. And Freddie Freeman walks it off for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Crazy, man. Every year, Freddie Freeman and the walk-off in the World Series. That's like the greatest thing that you could ever dream of when you're a kid, even when you're a 50-year-old man that still plays on the weekends, right? Like that's the greatest thing you can dream of, is hitting a walk-off home run in a World Series. And now he's done it 2 years in a row. He lives right. He's living right. Freddie does things the right way, and he lives right. He deserves those moments. Some of those other guys do not.
And he would still be an Atlanta Brave today if he had his way, because he didn't want to leave.
Did not want to go.
But the Braves would not pony up to keep him around.
One more year. The sixth year. They didn't want to give it to him. Well done, Alex Anthopoulos. Well done, sir. Thanks for torturing all of us out here on the West Coast.
What games like that do, though, they create these unbelievably unlikely heroes. And I think in last night's game, his name is Will Klein.
Correct.
Could you have told me anything about Will Klein going into the game yesterday?
Not a hell of a lot, man. I just saw a tweet talking about how, he pitched in college, pitched to like a 6.68 ERA, drafted in the 5th round, cut, released, played for 3 or 4 different organizations, ends up on the Dodgers. They like his heater. And, they stash him at the back end of the bullpen in case, they're in a blowout game one way or the other. Turns out he had to come in and throw
4 innings.
4 innings.
4 innings, one hit, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 72 pitches.
Hero
out
of the
bullpen. For a Padres fan, I'd say the equivalent would be Bradley Rodriguez throwing 4 shutout innings in a extra inning postseason game in that situation. Not someone you were expecting to rely on. Got good stuff. I mean, it's incredible. The last 2 guys the Dodgers had no intention of ever using could both touch triple digits with their fastballs. That's the depth that they bring on their roster, that the guys you don't even know about are still pretty nasty on the mound.
And it's not exclusive to them. It's where baseball is right now. The least valuable reliever still throws 100 miles an hour. And, the crafty guy out of the bullpen throws 95, so that's where baseball is. It's why I do give a lot of leeway to hitters these days, because it is so impossible. Watch Roki Sasaki pitch and tell me that anybody would have a prayer's chance in hell to hit that split finger fastball that he throws. I mean, Ben, the depth on it, the movement on it. How do you even train for a pitch like that? You hope he hangs one. You hope he makes a mistake with his heater in that you can turn on, but his heater's 99, 100, so hitting is extremely, extremely difficult.
Couple of the crazy numbers from the game. 609 pitches thrown between the two teams, 6 hours and 39 minutes. They used 220 different baseballs in the game. They only rubbed up, I think they said 290. I don't know that they've ever come closer to running out of baseballs in a Major League Baseball game than they did last night at the World Series.
Top of the 21st inning, they're like, we're going to need some more
We're going to need some more baseballs because we're starting to run out.
200, they rubbed up
290 baseballs before the game, and they used 220 of them in that game last night.
That's so nuts, man. Yeah, 18 innings, man. If this series goes 7, which it won't, you will have gotten an 8-game World Series, essentially, 9 extra innings of baseball.
Of course, it matched the longest World Series game of all time, which was Game 3 at Dodger Stadium in 2018. You were there.
I was there.
You were at that game?
I was at that
Have we ever
game.
talked about that?
Yeah, I think so.
The Max Muncy ended it in the 18 against the Red Sox.
I was at a nightclub by that point. Yeah, I was shaking my ass at a nightclub with my buddy.
I don't remember this story at all.
Yeah,
I remember you were at the Kerry Wood game.
Yeah, I was at the Kerry Wood game, but I went to that game with my buddy Boggsy many, many, many years, 8 years ago, right? And
7 years ago.
7 years ago. I had just started filling in across the street on sports radio. I'd filled in 4 or 5 times, and I would be on with like Nick Hardwick and Costa. When one of their guys would be gone, I was the fill-in guy. And they're like, "You're going to the World Series?" I'm like, "Yeah, my buddy invited me. I've never been to Dodger Stadium, and I went up for that game against the Astros, and they had me call in from the concourse, had a Dodger dog, the whole bit, and we were there, and my buddy he was a big partier, and he's like, "Let's just go." I'm like, "Fine by me. I don't care. I didn't pay for these tickets," and we left. We didn't have a rooting interest.
We were about 3 or 4 months away from meeting for the first time in early 20.
Your math's not mathing. The timeline's not adding.
No, because
we were on the air.
We were on the air. It was 2018.
Okay, then it was. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was
a year later.
Who did I call?
It was
in
the end
for?
of our first year.
Maybe I called in for one of the shows.
We started March of 18, so this was
October
at the
of 18.
end of our first baseball season.
You don't remember this?
I don't.
Yeah, we went out and blew it out in LA, but it took us like 2 hours to get out. Even when we left, it took us forever. Yeah, that's right. It was 18, and we had already been on the air. You don't remember? Do you remember me going? And I remember
vaguely.
I remember calling into like Darren's show or Scott's show or something, and like
because this led into the Astros scandal.
Yeah, it went right into the scandal.
We covered all.
That's true. That's true. That's right.
That game was against. Was it 2017? Then was it? Maybe I'm a year.
It was
off.
the long game. It was the super long game, and I left early. If it was 17, I had just started filling in. If it was 18, we were on the air. I think it was 17.
Maybe it was 17. Let's see. That was in 2018. No, it was 2018.
I called into some show.
It's amazing how you can't remember your own life
Memory
details.
is the first to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the only game of that series the Dodgers actually won. They lost that series in 5, 4-1. I don't see that happening. Obviously, they've already won 2 games in this series, so that can't happen the same way. But just because you win an 18-inning game doesn't automatically mean the other team is demoralized, beaten, and can't possibly come back and still win games going forward, because we've seen it happen in 2018.
I like Schneider's comments after the game. He's like, we've lost the game. We didn't lose the World Series. So he's a great manager. I like his kind of
Here's my favorite
demeanor
quote from him after the game. They were asking him about Shohei Ohtani, 4 straight intentional walks to end the game. Here's what John Schneider had to say.
He had a great game. He's a great player. But I think, after that, you just kind of take the bat out of his hands.
And not to give away secrets, but this is pretty much what we should expect going forward.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think dependent on what happens in the top of the first, if you can scratch out a couple, I would have a problem as a manager. If I'm John Schneider and my team is able to score 1 or 2 off of Shohei, I think I would have a problem putting him on in the first inning.
You got to attack him in the first inning.
I agree.
Least, right?
Now, the only other thing I would think about is if you do walk him, that means he's got to run the bases. He's got to pitch. He's used to it. He's a cyborg. He'll be fine. But I think I would consider pitching to him in the first, and that's probably it. He'd probably get one crack at me and my staff that night, and unless bases are loaded or something like that. But we'll play it as it comes. But I think the Barry Bonds treatment is well deserved for Shohei Ohtani. He seems to be locking in really good, but I'd probably go after him in the first.
I mean, he is also, yes, he's red hot now, but he had struck out like a record number of times this postseason. He was cold for. Do you feel like you can't even try to get him out of his groove at some point? You just keep walking.
I'm not going to be so arrogant enough to think that my guys can get him. He can get anybody at any time, righty, lefty. He's a cyborg. He truly is. Now, when he pitches is a different story for me. That's a little bit different, and I'll pick my spots. But I'm probably going to go after him in the first, even if we don't score. I'm going to go, especially if we don't score.
Maybe the old intentional
Sure.
walk.
Try to get him to chase.
Throw nothing over the plate.
Yeah. Well, Sir Anthony, I think, tried to do that, and that didn't work.
Well,
you miss.
You got to try a little harder.
You miss location, and you're dead. But yeah, I'm going to have to let Mookie and Freddie and Will Smith and those guys beat me, and they're very capable of doing it.
Rob Manfred doesn't want to see them avoid Shohei every single time. He's the star of the show.
John Schneider.
He doesn't care, but
I saw somebody just now in the chat says is 4 intentional walks good for baseball?
No.
Yes and no. Yes, in the fact that there's an actual player that is capable of being walked 4 times in a game, 4 consecutive times in a game. That's pretty good for baseball. I don't know.
What if he was so good and you just felt like he's going to hit a home run no matter if we put it anywhere near the plate, he's going to get a home run. And you just intentionally walked him every time he came up all season long. We're like next year, 2026, Shohei Ohtani's too dangerous to pitch to.
All 29 teams band together. And
just band together. We're all in on this. We're all in. We're walking him every at bat. All 642 plate appearances next year are intentional walks for Shohei Ohtani. What would they do? What would baseball do? How would they respond?
They'd make another
rule
for him.
You could make no intentionally walking Shohei. So then what would they just start throwing the balls in the dirt? What would you do? What would baseball do if every team just decided we are never pitching to him again?
I think they would claim collusion of some sort, and you can't. Again,
Roberts would lose his mind.
I've always had a problem with like the 3-batter rule, and the reason that I have a problem with the 3-batter minimum is now you're telling me how to strategically win a baseball game, and if I'm the manager, you can't tell me. If I want to send my right-handers up left-handed and I'll have them drag bunt down the third base line, I'm entitled. That's my team, my players. You can't tell me when I can go to the bullpen and when I can't. I got to leave this guy out. No, you're strategically messing with the way that I'm going to try to win a baseball game. So if I want to walk Shohei Ohtani 12, 16 times in a 4-game series, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Until you what are you going to do? You only get 2 a game? Well, forget it. I
just don't know how you would respond.
I would never pitch to him. Never.
That's the thing, though. I mean, you're not going to see him intentionally walked every at bat the rest of the postseason.
Why
right?
not?
I mean, how often was Barry Bonds getting walked in 2000?
A lot, but he still, still hit
70 homers,
70 home runs.
I mean, I still remember seeing the highlights of him being walked with the bases loaded.
Sure. That was Joe Madden, I believe, wasn't it? Or was it Joe Madden?
Yeah, it was a 2-run game, and they thought, all right, well, we can't lose on 1 run, so let's force in the run and
they won.
face someone else, and they won that game.
Yeah, it was the right move. Just like walking Shohei every single time yesterday, it was the right move.
Yeah,
and quite frankly, when you get into extras, walking Mookie probably also the right move, depending on obviously the situation, depending on the base runners.
Sure.
Open up as many force outs as you possibly can, because once you get into extras on the road, you don't care about the second run. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at all.
Game 4, just 10 hours away. They do it all over again with Shohei Ohtani on the mound against Shane Bieber.
Crazy.
Coming up later tonight. It will be interesting to see how the managers handle.
Yamamoto was warming up yesterday.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
he pitched a complete
available?
game in game 2 and was warming up to go into game 3. There was a day off in between.
Yep.
But still, he was set to go in back-to-back games after a complete
Dave
game.
ask him?
He
came up. No, his translator came up and said to Dave, Yoshinobu says he can go if you need him.
Does Dave go to like Blake Snell?
He
and
will pitch.
Yamamoto's warming up. How you feeling?
No,
You know Blake Snell's not
nah,
pitching.
dog. I can't get out of my routine, dog. No.
Like he's got more rest.
Yeah. That's the G move. He's also a cyborg. I mean, Japanese players are trained to like, they said too, I was listening to the broadcast and they were talking, it was either TV or radio. And they said, this is what these guys train for. They said they need like a lot of pitches. But if they said, if you give them their routine, their Japanese routine, which is an extra day, right? If you could commit to sticking by their routine, they will reward you. And I would say the Dodgers have done it better than anyone else with their Japanese players. They have been rewarded in spades by those guys. So they're Yoshinobu Yamamoto going out and being able to get a couple of outs, no big deal for him. That dude he throws javelins, he does all kinds of weird stuff, his stretching routines. Like he's ready to go. He's ready to go if you need him. Now you're going to need him in game 5 if you get there, but you may not, or game 6
in Toronto. Plus there's another day off before that. So yeah, I don't think it was an unreasonable thing. If he felt like he could do it,
get an out or two,
throw him out there.
100%.
All right, let's take a timeout. When we come back, don't do this. More damaging testimony from an Angels perspective in the Tyler Skaggs civil trial yesterday. We will talk about that. Then we'll get into our Padres Smörgåsbord at the bottom of the hour with Ben and Woods after a quick timeout and check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Well, first, let me tell you about the phenomenal work that they're doing over at QC Kinetics. And got to play that baseball tournament this weekend. Zero pain, man, in my joints. And that is what when you get a little bit older, you wake up, everything kind of hurts. And if you're having lasting, excruciating pain in any of your joints, your knees, your hips, your back, your shoulders, go see QC Kinetics. There is no reason to wait. All right. It's such a simple thing to do. It's a very simple injection. It's not a hospital stay. It's fast. It's all natural. There's no downtime. And again, if I can do it, you guys can certainly do it. Call QC Kinetics today. Schedule a free consultation with Dr. Jackson and his team. If you are tired of not doing the things that you love to do, getting back on the golf course, back on your surfboard, back on your skateboard, whatever it may be, jogging, running 5Ks or marathons, QC Kinetics can get you right back in the game, okay? First consultation is free. Call today, 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN. They got locations in Hillcrest and in Torrey Hills. QC Kinetics at 619-614-PAIN. Do not wait another day. At least call, get the free consultation today at QC Kinetics.
right, player. This is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort. Now open.
Let's get right to it. Don't do this. Brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. And I will update a story Paulie and I talked about last week when you were gone, and that is the ongoing civil trial filed by the family of Tyler Skaggs, the former Angels pitcher who died of a fentanyl overdose on a pill that was given to him by another member of the Angels organization, their communications employee, Eric Kay, who was convicted. He is serving, I think, a 22-year prison sentence in that case. But the family of Tyler Skaggs is suing the Angels, trying to hold them responsible for their employees' actions. And as the testimony has continued, we've heard from different members and former members of the Angels organization about what they did and did not know about Eric Kay's own drug problems and abuse of opioids, and whether he was providing pills to other players and members of the organization. And yesterday, you know, you're not in the courtroom, but the ex-wife of Eric Kay, who was around at that time, testified that she absolutely had seen, like, traveling on team planes, pills being exchanged, you know, between players, and that this was an ongoing thing that the Angels were turning basically a blind eye to, and ultimately may have contributed to the death of Tyler Skaggs of the overdose eventually, which is, it's such a horrible and sad story.
But yet a very, very common one. And there's probably 29 other teams in baseball that have sat their players down and said, hey, you know, enough, right? Like, You guys get painkillers, you give them to your buddy, and you just never know. And if you get them, make sure you get them from us, right? Like it's so prevalent in all sports, Ben, all sports at all levels, right? It's a really sad story. I'm sure you guys touched on the Mike Trout testimony last week.
Yeah, well, a little
my
bit.
God.
In terms of, what it was also kind of damaging to the Angels as well. Now, Trout and Tim Meade, who was Eric Kay's boss at the time, they downplayed it a little bit, kind of defended the Angels, going, we don't know for sure what was going on, but Eric Kay's ex-wife said, Tim Meade absolutely knew what was going on. He came and did an intervention and pulled pills out of his shoebox in the house, and Tim Meade said didn't really remember it going down like that. So it's going to come down to like who the jury kind of believes in the testimony and how much culpability the Angels have in this case.
Could they force Artie to sell after something like this? Can you force somebody to do that?
I mean, Major League Baseball can do, I guess, what it wants to try to do. I talked last week. It's a complicated issue because I don't necessarily think it's the right thing to simply take an employee who has a problem abusing opioids and just cast them aside and go, they tried to get him help many times. They don't know exactly, the timeline of, was he getting better? Like, what do you do with someone who you care about, you love? You don't want to just say, we can't touch you with a 10-foot pole anymore. You're off on your own. They didn't do that. And in some ways, that's admirable of the Angels for like trying to help this guy over and over again. But ultimately, it ended tragically, which is sad. And how much responsibility do they then have for that?
It's such a heavy
Because the easy thing to do is just fire him and go,
fire him and not our problem.
It's not our problem anymore.
Yeah.
And they didn't do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But now they're trying to be held responsible for what they didn't do. And that is exactly the same thing. You should have just gotten rid of this guy.
We are running behind, so let's just go to do this.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
I think you should actually take the lead since you were down covering this yesterday. This is a pretty cool story.
Yeah. Steven Strasburg returning into the fold at San Diego State as a special assistant to new head coach Kevin Vance. He talked yesterday about giving back, playing for Tony Gwynn, wanting to help the Aztecs return that program or build that program into something that it's never really been, and that is a College World Series contender. I find it to be one of the most surprising things.
It's confounding, actually.
That San Diego State has never made the College World Series in baseball.
It is confounding. It's such a hotbed and such a great city to move to.
Great stadium. Great legacy.
Yeah, all of the above.
What would it look like if Major League Baseball was more like the NFL, NBA? You got to go to college. You can't just go straight from high school. Because a lot of the top players here in high school, they go and they sign because they're a first-round draft, and they should, by the way.
But other schools find a way to still, get to the College World Series. Oregon State gets there all the time. I mean, there's no reason. Cal State Fullerton has gotten there. There's no reason San Diego State can't figure out a way
to build a good
program, become a powerhouse on the West Coast.
In a place where you can play year-round, in a place where expected to play year-round, honestly, in this city, at that school, with that facility, there's no reason.
Strasburg's been back for about a year and a half.
Money?
I think he's been coaching high school kids at Santa Fe Christian. He also donated a huge amount to the program. They're going to rebuild the fence, which was always kind of the weakest part of Tony Gwynn Stadium. Going to have a brand new outfield wall paid for by Steven Strasburg. And he's going to help mentor pitchers, bring alums back into the fold, fundraising, everything that you need to do to be a world-class baseball program. He's going to try to help with the new coach, Kevin Vance, and get that done, which is a very cool thing for San Diego State.
Love to see it, man.
He's still only 37.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I like I said, I asked him about Max Scherzer still pitching, former Washington Nationals teammate back in the day. And he goes, yeah, he was old when I was pitching, and now I'm out of baseball for years and years, and he's still going
in the
World Series
last night, keeping his team in the game. That's good for him. That's good to have him back in the fold at SDSU.
And that is Don't and Do This for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, our Padres Smörgåsbord, you've got one pick. Your money is no object free agent. Woods is already targeted.
I'm side-eyeing.
He's already got his target.
I'm side-eyeing.
Let's at least throw out some of the other options who are out there based on the top 50 list that Jim Bowden put yesterday out. Kind of an early conversation. Free agency doesn't even start until 5 days after the World Series is over, but we are getting a little bit closer. So we'll begin that discussion when we come back with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, talk about daily fantasy. Yesterday was one of those sports equinoxes where you had every sport, baseball, football, basketball, hockey in action. And the great thing about Prize Picks is when you're setting your daily fantasy sports lineups, you can do it all with one sport. You can cross over sports. Pick one basketball player, one baseball player, one football player, put them together in a 3-person lineup and win big. You're watching the games already. Why not turn all that sports knowledge into actual money? You're just picking lineups between 2 and 6 players and then picking more or less against stat projections. You got all the stars in there like Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic. Well, he's hurt this week, but find Steph Curry, whatever, or football-wise, last night, Patrick Mahomes, passing yards, passing touchdowns, more or less, and setting your lineup. It's simple to play, easy to use, and there are millions of users out there. So you know that this is not something that's unusual anymore. Just download the app at prizepicks.com. Make sure you use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. You can load and withdraw funds with Apple Pay, Venmo, and MasterCard. Very simple. It's Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today, with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. All right, we will shift our attention to the San Diego Padres. Well, we didn't mention Monday Night Football last night.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't either.
All right. So there you go. Who won?
Chiefs.
All right.
28-7 over the Commanders.
How'd you miss that?
Well done, guys.
I saw some highlights on Twitter. That's about it.
I didn't even see that. Super locked into the World
Patrick
Series.
Mahomes threw 3 touchdown passes.
There you go.
About 300 yards. They seem to have stabilized after their,
as we knew they would.
Yeah, they're 4-3
Against
now.
the
5-3.
Commanders with a backup quarterback.
Yeah,
That's
Marcus
right.
Mariota was
That's
not
right.
was not a great game, and there was an epic game going on opposite it. And what is going to disappoint me, I haven't seen the ratings numbers yet.
It's going to smoke
I
the World
assume
Series.
the NFL terrible blowout game is going to probably double the World Series, one of the greatest games ever played in numbers.
That is what
That's
it
just the
is.
way it works
They're
nowadays.
a juggernaut.
Just the way it is. People will watch, and
I
football
was
is just
looking,
automatic.
Front Office Sports usually has a lot of those ratings stats, and I was trying to find it. They don't have that. They haven't released those numbers yet, but they did say Game 3 of the World Series started at 8 p.m. Eastern and ended right around 3 a.m.
Wow.
The Commanders played an entire Monday Night Football game in Kansas City, had a flight delay, boarded their charter plane, and almost made it all the way back to D.C. before the end of the baseball
That's
game.
absolute.
And those games started at the same time.
That is just insane.
Without the delay, they would have gotten home to D.C. before
Been in
the
bed.
baseball
Yeah.
game was over.
Played a Monday Night Football game,
Showered.
shower, media, pack, get
Yeah.
on the bus, drive to the airport, fly back to D.C. I don't know how long that flight is from Kansas City. And they almost got home before the end of the baseball game.
Very good.
All right, let's talk about our money is no object free agent targets for the San Diego Padres. This is more aspirational than realistic, possibly. We'll do that in our smorgasbord right after traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danek.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. A little busy on our roads this morning, guys. Getting reports of a hit and run crash, West 54, just past Woodman. Motorcycle involved in this one. Everything's in the center divide. Also an accident westbound King Freeway before the 5 at 7 to the right shoulder. And now northbound 5 right past SeaWorld Drive. Collision blocking the 2 left lanes. Also keep in mind the funeral procession for La Mesa police officer Lauren Craven is getting underway. It's departing Snapdragon Stadium. Northbound 15 to East 52 to South 125 to eastbound 94 to Campo Road, ending at Skyline Church. So please expect delays and plan alternate routes around that until 9:30 this morning. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Padres Smörgåsbord.
All right, never mind.
Yeah.
Call it something else.
So why do we bother doing this? Because, well, the Padres have surprised us in the past. We don't know what the budget is for next year. They don't discuss specifics, simply that they're trying to put a competitive team on the field, and we know the Padres have some big issues that they need to address in the offseason. So if money was no object, looking at the list of free agents that are out there, and we're going to do one pitcher, one hitter. So you get to choose each. We already know Woods wants Kyle Schwarber.
I changed my mind.
You changed your mind.
I did.
You were so passionate an hour and 20 minutes ago that Kyle Schwarber was the obvious choice for the San Diego Padres.
Check was not signed yet. So
you've rescinded the offer.
Yep.
And now you're offering the money to who?
Pete Alonso.
You get Pete.
I went with
The polar bear.
Old Uncle Pete. 37 home runs in each of his last 5 years. Gamer, doubles, slugs. He does all of it, right? Hits bombs, hits doubles. He's been disrespected, in my opinion, in New York. Big time. The fact that they haven't locked that guy up out of all guys is absurd.
Come home, Pete.
Come on home to San Diego, Pete. You can work on your Camaro in the front yard with a Marlboro hanging from your lip and a ice cold, Schlitz beer.
What's he listening to when he's working on his Camaro?
Morgan Wallen.
I was going to say like Billy Squire.
Maybe. Oh, Billy Squire kicks ass. I listened to Billy Squire this week, Paulie.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just
great
I can picture.
God, I love Billy Squire.
The Strokes playing. He's listening. And he's
getting
under his car
with a ratchet. No, give me Pete Alonso, Ben. Money's no object. Look, the first base defense is not ideal.
But he can play first base, which is a position that the Padres will need to fill, assuming Luis Arraez departs.
He's a true first baseman. Yeah. He's like the definition of the first baseman we've been looking for here forever. And I'm told every year that they grow on trees and we can always find a first baseman. We haven't. The last power-hitting first baseman for the San Diego Padres was who? Adrian Gonzalez? A long time ago. Let's get a slugger, play first base, and hit 37 to 40 home runs. That's my guy.
Paulie?
That was my pick. I thought Woodsy was going to go with Schwarber, and at first it was just I don't want to throw out the same name because I'm certainly not upset if Kyle Schwarber was in a Padres uniform next year, but I was looking at it. I think Pete Alonso's like a couple years younger than Schwarber, and he's just kind of the lunatic that you want on your team. Like he's a lunatic in all the right ways. I still remember how much fun, how much we made fun of him in that home run derby when he's, got the eyes closed and he's working out. And I'm like, you know what? He's kind of grown on me over the years.
Me too.
He's a goofball. He's a gamer, dude.
Yeah,
that guy is a gamer.
Hits big home runs in big spots.
It's the number one thing that the Padres were lacking in 2024 and need to address in 2025 and need to address for 2026 was slug power. He provides all of that.
All right, let me take a different tack then, and I will go with the younger option, who also can play first base and also might be a 30-plus home run hitter, but is a little bit more of a gamble, and that is Munetaka Murakami, who is the Japanese star who's going to be posted by his club this offseason, expected to get big deal. I'm sure the Dodgers will be interested and involved as they are with every Japanese star.
Why even try for Murakami?
And that may be ultimately the case. I mean, Bowden doesn't have the Dodgers even as a fit for him, but with their strategy of dominating in Japan, you'd think that they will at least talk to him. But he's got a close to 400 on-base percentage. He's probably going to be more of like a 250-60 hitter in Major League Baseball, but definitely has the power. Projects to be a 30-plus home run hitter in the big league. And he's 25, so you can see him continuing to grow and thrive for years to come. You're not signing someone in their 30s like Pete Alonso or Kyle Schwarber who are going to decline over the next few seasons. This guy actually could. Now, is there a risk? Of course. You don't know how that game is going to translate from Japan to the United States, but I love the age factor, and he can play third base as well if you ever needed someone to fill in, or if Manny Machado was going to move over to the other side of the infield. Not a great defensive player on either side, but someone who can do it as well and did it in Japan. So he would be my big ticket option for hitters in the offseason for the Padres.
Said he had arthroscopic elbow surgery, had an oblique injury, but still hit 286 with 24 homers in 69 games. 24 bombs in 69 games is definitely some power that makes you do a double take. He's averaged more than 30 homers a year in Japan. He's got a 394 career OBP, and at 25, entering his prime years. Pretty good pick, Ben. I think you'd need to be really patient with him. And I don't know that it would be immediate results, right? Like Pete Alonso would give you immediate results. A Josh Naylor would give you immediate results at first base. Kyle Schwarber would probably give you immediate results as a designated hitter, but definitely not a bad pick and certainly an interesting one.
All right, pitching-wise, the top guys who are available, Framber Valdez is out there. You could look at Ranger Suarez. You have your own free agents like Dylan Cease and Michael King. Those guys are not off the table as well, and they would be considered bigger ticket items. You could even go with a guy like Zach Gallen, who has been a Cy Young Award winner before, but is coming off a lesser season. But those are some of the top arms on the market. Who would be your target, Woods?
Give me Ranger Suarez.
Ranger.
Benjamin, yes. Really
Over Framber.
Impressed with, yes. Very, very impressed with Ranger Suarez in the playoffs last year. Doesn't have a ton of mileage on his arm. And again, the consistency of Ranger Suarez is something that I love. And again, only 762 career innings at the major league level on his wing. He throws a lot of strikes. Great fit for Petco Park. Great fit for the San Diego Padres.
I like that call, but if I'm going to spend money, that kind of money on a pitcher, I think I'm going to do it on Michael King. I believe in Michael King bouncing back. I think we already know him. We know what kind of person he is.
Not mad at it.
And, same age as Ranger Suarez, actually. They're both 30, but not
fewer miles on his arm.
Even less mileage on his arm. I don't think you go with an unknown option. If you're going to spend that kind of money on pitching, you go with your own guy, Michael King.
Yeah, I was probably leaning towards Michael King as well.
Do you like Zach Gallen, though?
He's on that list, but I think not in the money is no option hypothetical, because I actually think there's a world in which the Padres can still afford Zach Gallen.
Sure.
I don't think he's a really good pitcher for not commanding a ton of money, but I was actually looking at Jordan Montgomery. If I'm spending some money, that's who I would like to see in the rotation.
Not mad at it.
I feel like Zach Gallen with Ruben Niebla
Dirty
could get very interesting very quickly if the Padres went down that route as well. He can do it. We've seen him do it in this division. Ruben's gotten a lot of looks at him in the past already from the other side of the field. Would be very intrigued at what that combination would look like going forward.
I still think Schwarber's going to be a Philly. I think he's going to be a Philly for the rest of his career.
I do too. I don't think they'll let him go.
I don't think so either.
All right, we will come back. We've got 2 hours remaining. Our third hour includes a little take on Woods, chance to win a trip to Las Vegas, and more. Plus, what did Taylor do late now from Woods next on the Fan?
Halfway home on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan. Lovely to be here, all of you. It's got a warm one outside right now. It's very nipply this morning when I woke up. So I dressed warm. And I'm looking outside. It looks like it's going to be blazing hot.
Yeah, we got some Santa Ana winds, which are going to keeps it cool at night, but then heats up very quickly during the day. And be careful out there because the fire danger goes up.
No doubt. No doubt. Make sure SDG&E has your most up-to-date contact information.
That's a freebie for
That's
you.
a freebie.
There.
That's on the house. That's on me. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, executive producer. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well.
All still a little worn out from last night's game.
Yeah.
I almost broke my neck a couple of times and just falling asleep, like watching the game. And then
where were you watching? On a couch?
I was in my armchair
in
front of the television.
You have like a
lazy boy?
A lazy boy?
No, it doesn't recline.
Oh, it just sits up straight?
It just sits kind of, it's upholstered, so it's soft and comfy, but it doesn't adjust at all. There's
nothing
no footrest.
Oh, no
it's
ottoman?
Just a chair, no ottoman, no.
Kind of a bummer. Why don't you get a lazy boy?
Doesn't really go with the vibe, I think, of the other furniture.
What is the
Does that
vibe?
matter? I don't know.
Aren't you? You're 50 years old, aren't you? Almost. Aren't you about comfort?
I am about comfort.
I'm not
yes.
allowed. My wife won't let me get a lazy boy.
I think
so. She is out on the whole thing.
I mean, there's a look that you kind of are. It either works or it doesn't. That's a hand-me-down chair anyway.
A lazy boy?
No, the one that I have.
I really want one, and I want one with the drink. Cool.
You want the full thing?
Yeah, the recliner. I want a recliner.
Legs pop up.
Yeah, because our couch isn't great and it's not great to watch sports. I've told you guys about the glare from the windows. They're little windows. So I had a guy reach out to me. I meant to write you back. I'm sorry. He's like, I do drapes and coverings. And they said they're so little, but there's 5 little windows.
Just little mini drapes.
Little like what do they call when you look out the of a boat?
Portholes.
The porthole. But they're square portholes. There's 5 of them in my kitchen. It glares directly onto the massive television, but there's 5 dots on there. I've showed the picture before. You can't watch sports in there. So I either into my office and I sit in an uncomfortable office chair, kind of like this one, or I go to my bed and I just lay on my bed and watch the majority of baseball games in there. But I feel like if my wife wanted me around more in the living room, she would just let me get like a big, fat, plush lazy boy.
Just get one of those massager chairs they have at Costco.
I got so close. I almost bought one at the fair. I was like, look, it's only $5,000. We can finance it. She's like, we have a child on the way. This is many years ago. I was like, yeah, but like,
think how nice it'll be.
Think how nice it'll be. You're nursing and you're getting your calves rubbed at the same time. Heated seat, like it was like the Rolls Royce of massage.
And
chair.
you had no idea how expensive that child could be.
That's
when he
true.
was on his way.
Yeah, you don't really ever have enough for it. And I talk to people all the time. I was when I did my men's mental health group a couple Saturdays ago. One of the guys said, I'm 41 years old. I really want to be a father and a husband. He's like, I've got a couple of options in my life. He goes, I just feel like I'm not quite like I want to do it, but I'm not as financially stable as I need to be. And I go, let me stop you right there. You never will be. Never. You could have a kitty of $1 billion and everything will surprise you. You're never going to be 100% financially secure to deal with the crap that you have to deal with when it comes to your children. And I got a text from Hannah yesterday, close to the end of the show. And she goes, oh my God, Taylor. And I go, what? She goes, he bought an $80 app on his iPad.
$80 app.
And I go, and of course my mind starts wandering. And I'm like, oh no. What? So I'm looking at the bill here. You see $79.99.
Yeah.
But all it says is Applecom bill.
I get like 2 of those a day.
Yeah,
those emails.
The Applecom.
It's like, oh, it's your subscription is re-upping or whatever, and they're always like $1.99, $2.99.
I've never seen $79.99.
Nor have I. It's a very expensive app. Ooh. I've bought a couple of like workout apps. You just buy it for the year. Now somebody asked, how do we not have passwords to buy apps?
I was wondering the same thing.
I thought we did.
Parental control.
I thought we did.
Purchases.
Yeah, some sort of face identification before you can actually go ahead and
Purchase
purchase something and confirm it.
So whether it's my iPad or my phone, I have it's facial ID on my phone.
So-
It's the finger on the iPad.
So he has an iPad and Bo has an iPad, right? They have their own iPads. And we let them use them sparingly. In fact, I think they're both grounded from their iPads
At the moment?
At the moment.
Makes sense.
So, but that's before we had the $80 charge. And I go, what the hell? Yeah, my first thought wasn't, how did he even buy an app? My first thought was, what app did he buy? And why was it $80?
What app costs $80?
So
apps, they love to charge you tiny amounts, but then
if you buy for the year,
then another one, and then another one, and then
or my favorite is most apps are free. Oh hell yeah, this is great.
Right.
As soon as you open it up, hey, sign up. This is how much it costs. It's not actually free. It's free to download.
But not 80 right off the bat.
Not 80 out of the chute.
unusual.
So I forgot about it. And then this morning I remembered and I wrote her and I said, by the by, what app was it? And she said it was Kidopia. And I go,
it sounds age appropriate
I go,
at least.
So sigh of relief there that it wasn't.
Why does a kid app cost $80? Though?
Wasn't like big booty Latinas or something.
Kidopia?
Yeah,
Kidopia.
So I remember Kidopia because Bo had it.
Award-winning learning app for preschoolers.
Yeah, Bo had it when he was a kid, but it had, it was one of those things where you can get on, you can play 4 or 5 little games, but there's more. There's more. He wanted more. I think he went through all of the games. There's one like build this pizza and you drag sausage and pepperoni. It's cute. I used to do it with Bo when he was little. So I think he got in. I think he played all the games till he was blue in the face playing those games and was like, I need more. I want more because there are other options you can unlock.
He went right to the platinum membership.
Yeah, that SOB went in and unlocked it.
I'm looking right now. Taylor, doesn't he know there's a free trial?
There's a free
7-day
trial.
trial, Taylor. Yeah. Start there.
And that dude went
monthly subscriptions are $10.99 a month, and the annual subscription $79.99.
$79.99.
Right for the annual subscription.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, ultimately, if he keeps it for a year, he's saving you $40.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it's a good app. Like maybe and so Hannah goes, I'm going to just obviously go and cancel it. This was on her card. And so she went in, and there's actually an option. Did your child purchase this by accident? Yes. She's getting her money back.
Well, by accident?
Yeah, not by accident.
No, but he did purchase
without
parental
knowledge. That's it. And so she checked that and sent it back. And
they should have that for husbands and wives. Did your husband purchase this without your knowledge?
Yeah, correct.
Cancel.
Correct. So
did your wife purchase this without your knowledge? Yes, she did. Cancel it then. We'll send it back.
I'm telling you, man, I was sweating it for a minute because you see that and you're like, all right, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And he's going to be the one that we really have to watch. My neighbor, Ron, across the street yesterday walked out. I was playing catch with the boys. Whoa, sorry to hear about your rabies, buddy. And it was so funny because my 4-year-old told the kids in his class that his 7-year-old brother had rabies. And he wasn't feeling well because he had rabies.
I thought about that story.
And I go, where do you get this stuff?
God, that's funny.
Where do you get this stuff?
Did he get bitten by a bat?
He didn't he made it up. He is a demon. He's the sweetest little demon that you've ever seen. But he is, in fact, a demon. So, yeah.
Look cute in his class picture as well.
He's such a grown-up now. He's going to be 5 on the 6th.
It's such an involved setup. Did they have that for all the kids?
Yeah.
They had like their little chair, little background, like
really
tropical sweet background at their school. Very impressed.
It was really, really sweet. But yeah, it's his birthday next week. So I have not told our boss Adam yet.
Maggie says, my son ordered a $700 Bose speaker when Amazon started putting buy now ads on the Fire Stick. He was 2.
Oh, man.
Ooh. 700. I mean, that's a good speaker. Do you keep that? I wonder if you send it.
I think you send it back.
Right? Well, we already got it. It's here.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted one of these, so he bought it. I haven't told Adam this yet, but I have, and you guys know, we're gonna do the Disney Day. It was originally going to be next Friday, the 7th, but now we've moved it to the 6th. But I will be in on Friday the 7th, but I will be out on the 6th. I have not submitted my vacation request form, which I know around here is not their favorite.
Can you call in from one of the rides?
I can call in from on the drive up if need be. Would you guys prefer me to take the gear and walk around with it manually?
You're fine.
Just get you a hot spot.
It's just good to know that the Padres will be hiring a manager. Now we know on the morning of November 6th.
Correct.
Because that's guaranteed because Woods is taking the day off.
Correct. So I'll submit that ASAP, Adam, and if you could approve that, that'd be great. Or I just won't go to Disneyland with my child. Again. Remember that happened earlier in the year? They went. I didn't. So that's cool.
And they went to Universal Studios without you as well.
Yeah, I was out of town.
Yeah, that was not work related.
Well, if they go, you can just have a spa day.
No, I think I like that you can't take the day off for a spa day.
I can for Disneyland.
But you can for Disneyland.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing to do at least once every couple of years, if not every year.
Take
the kids out. Is this take them out of school day too? Yeah.
Take them out of school.
A little less crowded.
Take them out there. And if you guys don't want some live streams and things like that, I can do that for you. I'd rather just hang out with my kid on his birthday, but if it's the content that you crave.
I think the content you bring back on Friday
will
from
be
your
good.
Day at Disneyland will be fairly epic.
Surrounded by Dodger fans in their new World Series hats. It's going to be great. Cannot wait to see all of them out there.
How many
all their
are-
new
how many are gonna be out
1 billion. There's going to be.
So many.
Yeah. The brand new 2025 back-to-back World Series champs, and I'll be at Disneyland wearing it.
Gonna wear any Padres gear?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Gotta let them know
That we're still here. We
still
still
here.
exist.
We're still here.
Well, there is the chance that the Toronto Blue Jays could win, 3 of the next 4 games.
Totally.
And take the
Sweet
World
kid.
Series title.
You're a real sweetheart. Got to win today, buddy.
You do feel like tonight is almost must win for the Blue Jays.
No question.
Yeah, you go down 3-1.
That's church.
It's hard to beat the Dodgers
That's
3
right.
straight times.
That's right. Very much.
But you win today. You know you're getting the series back to Toronto.
Going back to Toronto.
Today's game is a bit of a wild card, not knowing how everyone's going to respond from the night before.
Yeah, real wild card was Shohei Ohtani on the mound.
Yeah, but he doesn't usually pitch after playing 18 innings the night before.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I mean, Shane Bieber, he may have gotten up once, but
Did he?
They talked about him potentially going into the game. Not sure if he actually warmed up or not, but you'd think he'll be a little fresher than Ohtani.
Yeah.
Didn't have to
What's
participate in that game at all.
What's the baseball, basketball equivalent? 18 innings, like 4 overtimes?
Yeah, 4 OTs.
You telling me game 3 of the NBA Finals, 4 or 5 overtimes? Michael Jordan's playing the next game.
No
He's
question.
giving you 45 minutes.
And probably 48 points. So, yeah.
Like, what tells you Ohtani's not pitching 7 strong, 4 for 4? Come on.
No, he won't be 4 for 4. That I promise you. 'Cause he will not have a chance to
0 for 0.
0 for 0 is what he'll be. OBP of 1,000.
1 for 1, maybe.
Yeah, potentially.
I mean, there was certainly some impact when he started pitching again. That it takes a little bit out of him to try to do both. Now
I don't know how
didn't
many.
take it out of
he
him.
had the 3 home
game
run
4.
game. Yeah, but that
I don't know how
they were cruising in that series, and it wasn't coming off an 18-inning game.
And I mean, again, I don't know. And they said on the broadcast last night, pitching's actually his favorite. They said he would rather pitch than hit, which boggles the mind because he's such a great hitter. But I think there's something to be said for like being out there on the field instead of I'm just going to hit every 30 minutes and go sit down. I think he likes being in the action. He's obviously very good at it. So you do wonder how long that can keep up, but I think they're fine this year.
I just think, he's going to pitch the top of the first inning. And then he does that thing where he has to sprint back into the dugout, get his helmet on, get his bat, get to the on-deck circle in time so he can get up. I think that's the time you challenge him. He's just come off the mound. I think walking him is almost a relief. Like, I'm on base now. I didn't have to do anything. I just pitched an inning.
You do make him run a little bit if you put him on. He's running a little bit, try to gas him out a little bit. But again, I think he's a cyborg. I think he was created in a Japanese lab somewhere because to watch that guy play is, you wish he was on any other team. But he's a marvel. There's no question.
Coming up here in the second half of Ben and Woods, we have another 4-pack of tickets to give away to Snow Jam at the Del Mar Fairgrounds happening next week. Keep listening for your chance to win coming up. But in our next segment, you'll have an opportunity to qualify for our grand prize trip to Las Vegas and tickets to see Jerry Seinfeld. We've got a new game of Take on Woods coming up. I'm adding a category submitted by Tier 1 Scott. Sent me a really good one that'll be added to the mix today. If you'd like to be our contestant, You can call us now at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Get ready for a little Take on Woods coming up next after traffic on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
But first, my friends, let me tell you, this afternoon, beautiful sunny day. If you are in the market for a new automobile, I highly recommend heading down to Sedano Ford and Lincoln in La Mesa. They're currently having the October spectacular savings going on right now as we enjoy all of this endless fall sunshine and incredible savings. Manny Sedano, Marine veteran, car matchmaker extraordinaire. He's got some incredible deals for you. The 2025 Ford Mach-E Select, just $341 a month, just $1 down. If you need a truck, the 2025 Ford F-150 STX, $1 down, $467 a month. Or grab that beautiful 2025 Bronco Sport Big Ben, $1 down, $335 a month. Savings and luxury. How about the 2025 Lincoln Corsair Hybrid, all-wheel drive, just $355 a month on a 36-month lease. Pretty amazing, guys. Visit all their inventory at Sedano Ford and Lincoln Megastore and secure your deal. Fall into great savings with the $1 down savings all month long. Let them know Woodsy sent you. For more details about these offers, go to SedanoFord.com or SedanoLincoln.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Got to see Sean Lewis yesterday at San Diego State. Guy is got his Aztecs rolling with 5 straight wins, 6-1 record.
Elite defense.
Wyoming is the opponent this week. Yeah, absolutely elite defense. Asked Eric Butler, one of the safeties, just about 3 shutouts in one season. It's pretty wild in college football, and they've done that already this season. It's the most by the Aztecs in their Division I era, which started in 1969. And, Wyoming coming to town this week, probably another low-scoring game. It's homecoming for San Diego State. And, Sean Lewis is making that pitch. He was going like, we want to see Snapdragon Stadium sold out. They've never sold out a full game, I don't believe, at Snapdragon Stadium for the Aztecs. But if they keep winning, it's not out of the question that if they win the Mountain West, they could find their way into the college football playoff. It's unlikely. Other teams are still ahead of them, like Memphis and Navy and South Florida. In terms of the rankings and in the AAC. But depending on how things break, if the Aztecs keep winning, there is a pathway, possibly, to the college football playoff, which could be a game changer for San Diego State.
It would be insane.
It's a long way off. They got 5 more regular season games, potentially a Mountain West championship game. Boise State is in a couple of weeks. That'll be the next home game after Wyoming. Then they go to Hawaii, then Boise State. They win those 3.
You said Boise State twice.
Wyoming, Hawaii, then Boise State.
Okay.
That's the next 3. If they get through that stretch, then we can really kind of start taking a deeper dive as to what it might take and the other results necessary to potentially get the Aztecs there. But right now, they just have to keep taking care of business.
Honestly, just go in the Mountain West. You know what I mean?
That would be great.
That would be fantastic.
What an unbelievable start that would be.
When's the last time they won the Mountain West?
I want to say 2018 or 19. It was definitely several years ago. I think pre-pandemic was the last time they won the conference, which would be an incredible accomplishment in Sean Lewis's second season.
And like we talked about, the thing that you worry about is he gets this program up and running, and then some bigger school comes calling, which is kind of the way that college football goes now. You're either fired immediately after 5 games for not winning, and then bought out for an exorbitant amount of money, or you are lured away with the promise of greater resources and better facilities and a more rabid fan base.
But that's a much better problem to have.
It
is replacing a successful coach than firing an unsuccessful one. So anyway, it was good to see and an interesting turnaround here for SDSU football. We can talk about that as the season goes on. Right now, though, we got a contestant on the line. Let's play today's game. It is time for Take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and we're going with Chris today. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. All right, 5 questions of musical trivia. You go first. Woods goes second. If you beat or tie him, we will put you in our grand prize drawing for Las Vegas. 2 tickets to see Jerry Seinfeld at the Coliseum at Caesars Palace on April 17th, plus 2-night stay at the Flamingo Hotel and Casino and a $100 gas card. Get your tickets for Jerry Seinfeld at Ticketmaster.com. You get to pick the category today. Here are the choices. We got Do the Do, 5 song titles that begin with the word do. In the Black, 5 2-second songs that all include the word black in the title. And our new contribution from Tier 1 Scott, who's been sending me a couple ideas. This one he nailed. It's called All Hallows Eve, in honor of Halloween. 5 song titles and artists that each include a ghoulish creature in the title. Let's just say that. So Do the Do, In the Black, or All Hallows Eve. Chris, what would you like to play?
All Hallows Eve.
All right. In honor of Halloween this week and in honor of Tier 1 Scott's contribution, 5 song titles or artists that each contain a ghoulish creature in their name. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. If you don't know the answer, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. Paulie is going to be queuing up our 2-second song. That's your first question. You need to identify both the song title and the artist based on the small snippet of music, and then we go on from there. But remember, we got a different creature in every single title or artist in the category today. Chris, are you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
Paulie, have you queued up our song?
Just about.
He's getting there?
Yes.
All right. Queued up the song. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Again, thanks to Tier 1 Scott for contributing today's category. It is All Hallows Eve. Chris, Your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
Zombie.
By
Cranberries.
correct. Which 1978 Warren Zevon hit includes references to a Chinese restaurant, Lon Chaney, and Trader Vic's?
Skip.
Which 1972 hard rock instrumental hit by Edgar Winter Group features the synthesizer with elements of prog rock and blues?
Pass.
Which New York band broke onto the scene in 2008 with songs including A-Punk and Oxford Comma?
Oh, jeez.
Second single from the Eagles' debut album in 1972 was which track about a seductress quote, "She got the moon in her eye"?
The Eagles, that would be. I don't know.
All right, which 1978 Warren Zevon, we're out of time. You just got the 2-second song Zombie by the Cranberries. Here's what you missed. Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon. Frankenstein by Edgar Winter Group. Vampire Weekend is the band from 2008. And Witchy Woman is the Eagles hit from their debut album. Let's bring Woods back into the fold. Where is Woods?
Sitting on the couch.
He's on his phone.
Not looking at me.
You think?
Hey!
Just does he have an internal clock that knows that the game might be turning over to him at any moment? Here he comes. All right, got to get you off your phone there. You were enthralled, engrossed.
Sorry.
It's all right. All right, Chris's score is locked in. No category for Woods. Put 60 seconds on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Chris.
Zombie by the Cranberries.
Correct. Which 1978 Warren Zevon hit includes references to
Werewolves of London.
Correct. Which 1972 hard rock instrumental by Edgar Winter Group features the synthesizer with elements of prog rock and blues?
Pass.
Which New York band broke onto the scene in 2008 with songs including A-Punk and Oxford Comma?
Pass.
The second single from the Eagles' debut album in 1972 was which track about a seductress? Quote, "She got the moon." Correct. Which 1972 hard rock instrumental hit by Edgar Winter Group features the
Frankenstein.
Correct. Which New York band broke onto the scene in 2008 with songs including A-Punk and Oxford Comma? Zombie, werewolves, Frankenstein, Witchy Woman.
Mummy's Taint.
Oh, good guess. Vampire Weekend.
Oh, how did I not know that?
But that was a 4-1 win for Woods today in our Tier 1 Scott contributed category, All Hallows Eve.
Oh, I like
for
that.
Halloween. Very well done by Scott.
Spooky song.
He's been wanting to get one in for the last couple of months. So
yeah, timing was spectacular.
he finally got past the gatekeeper known as yours truly with a really good category for today.
Yeah, I think I played some of that Vampire Weekend, but I don't remember. I didn't.
People
really
are surprised you didn't.
Yeah,
know that
it's up my alley, but I don't. Not the world's biggest fan.
All right, fair enough. You still got the win today.
Do I?
We'll play some on the way out for you.
I got a couple decent songs.
Then we'll come back. We can talk more of last night's incredible epic, or if we're tired of that, we can move on to a different topic. It's totally up to you, Woods. We'll let you decide.
Me? Oh, great.
During the break, coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
So if you were so wired after the game last night.
I was not.
But I wasn't either. I was exhausted. But let's say you were wired.
Okay.
You could have then gotten into your car if you were downtown, driven 7 minutes down the 5 freeway, sat down at a California-style blackjack table at 7 Mile Casino, ordered a meal off the 24/7 players menu. It's 12:45 in the morning. You're still good because it's a 24/7 option.
Got a
in San Diego.
discount.
Yeah.
Could have gotten a discount
At
on
the
that
table,
at
for
the
sure.
table. Yeah, man. 7 Mile Casino, great place. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Always open, always willing and ready to take care of you in a smoke-free environment, in a slot machine-free environment. Everything you're looking for, man. And the best part, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Absolutely. Other casinos, other card rooms, they're fine, but you have to drive way out of town. You have to navigate a big parking lot, a garage, a big giant casino before you can find the card room. Why do that when the best card room is so close, so easy, right on the west side of the 5 freeway on Bay Boulevard? Check it out today. It's 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
All guests on Ben Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Game 4 of the World Series tonight at 5. The question, though, is how many guys are actually available in the bullpens for both teams after last night's 18-inning marathon? And secondly, do you give any of your regulars a day off? You rarely see it in the playoffs anymore, where regulars get a day off like they would in the regular season. But an argument can be made that keeping guys fresh, even with just 3 games left in the season potentially, is still advantageous. And getting a guy who was not part of that game involved with fresh legs could be the better way to go, especially at the catching position.
Yeah, Will Smith caught 312 pitches last night, received 312 pitches. But I think it would take, a miracle to keep him out of the lineup, as well as he's been swinging the bat, as good of a job as he's done with the starting pitchers. I think their backup is Ben Rortvedt. And do you want to start him in a World Series game? Maybe. I mean, he was pretty good for them down the stretch. But this is a different animal entirely. And, I think we saw the Dodgers employ the punt last year. You don't punt when you have Shohei Ohtani on the mound. That's, in fact, the opposite of a punt. I think what you do is you start all your regulars, and if you get a lead, then you may start looking at pulling guys. But again, man, Bieber is on the mound for Toronto. He's not gone 4 innings, I think, in any of his postseason starts. And it's weird. You need length from him, but you're not going to get length from Shane Bieber against the Los Angeles Dodgers. So it puts them in a really tough spot. They don't have many arms left, and they got a banged up Bo Bichette, and they got a banged up George Springer who went for an MRI. The results were not known right away, but when you grab your oblique like that, it looks like he's toast.
I don't even know what the rules are now. If Shohei Ohtani pitches, can you DH for a different player? Like if you wanted Will Smith's bat in the lineup and he could DH for Ben Rortvedt, but have Ben Rortvedt catching, but get Will Smith off his feet and just have Shohei in the lineup as the pitcher. Is that allowed now? Or does your DH, I think it has to be for the pitcher.
For the pitcher.
It has to be for the pitcher. You can't just choose because
that would be hysterical.
It used to be you could choose whatever player you wanted to DH.
They already made the Ohtani rule. Like
he would have to come out of the game after he was done pitching, though, if they did that, even if it was allowed. I don't think it is allowed anymore, though. I think you have to DH for the pitcher.
I think it's the DH for the pitcher, and he is the designated hitter for himself.
And because of that in the Ohtani rule, he gets to stay in after he's taken out of the game.
Correct.
Okay.
So he could stop pitching in the third, and he's still the designated hitter for the Dodgers, and they don't have to make
What about
switches.
bullpen-wise? We looked at some of the usage. Did every single bullpen member from both teams was used yesterday?
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
Little was the last one, and Klein was the last one for the Dodgers.
Correct.
So everybody's pitched. So it's definitely 2 days in a row for every bullpen. But some guys did throw less than other guys in the game last night.
Yeah, they did. And especially with the Dodgers, I think Kershaw threw 4 pitches or 8 pitches or something.
You can't see them relying heavily on Clayton Kershaw in this game unless it's a blowout.
Or, you may not have. Again, they say in the world, it's all hands on deck. I think it was one of the Blue Jays pitchers that said, no, it was Eric Lauer, actually. He said, no, everyone's going to be ready tomorrow.
If Eric Lauer is saying that, he threw
it.
more pitches than any other Blue Jays reliever. He almost threw as many as Scherzer did.
Yeah.
Scherzer threw 79. Lauer threw 68 in relief.
He said, we'll absolutely all be ready. It's the World Series. So that's kind of the mentality that you like going in. But yeah, I think, that's going to be, to me, the most fascinating part of tonight. Will Bo Bichette be in the lineup? He's basically in spring training right now with his knee. They had to take him out again for a pinch runner later in the game. That's going to be interesting. Does George Springer start? Probably not, man. Based on last night, coming out in the middle of an AB with an oblique, they're just up against it right now. They're up against it. They're not only are they injured, that they just got beaten in an 18-run game and had to burn through every player on their bench and in their bullpen. That's my money, if I bet, would be heavily on Shohei and the Dodgers.
The Dodgers are in better shape. Hazel Toyd asks, how did Kershaw not have to face 3 batters? If you finish an inning, you can always be taken out. That was the case with not only Clayton Kershaw, but Jack Dreyer faced one batter, came out of the game after 5 pitches.
Was Banda too?
Anthony Banda faced one batter, 3 pitches, and then came out of the game.
So they're ready.
Those guys are essentially almost unused. Dreyer, Banda can come in easily behind Shohei Ohtani, and even Roki Sasaki. He threw 29 pitches, but if you needed him to close out a game in the 9th inning, my guess is that he would be available. Now Sheehan threw 37, Klein threw 72. You can't see them going to him, but they wouldn't normally go to those guys in a postseason game. Robleski 28, but he's not a guy they use at all. Trinan threw 15. He could probably come back. Wasn't particularly effective. Gave up 3 hits. Went back to the struggling Blake Trinan yesterday, but they could use him if necessary. So yeah, the Dodgers seems like their bullpen is in better shape going into this game than the Blue Jays bullpen.
Yeah, agreed. And position player wise as well, they're in much better shape. Dave Roberts did say that Shohei was gassed after last night, and you can understand why. I was on base
9 times.
9 times.
Well, twice he just trotted around the bases.
Right. Still exhausting. Still on your feet for 18 innings, right?
Yeah.
9 times he was on base.
And he got to sit in the dugout in between
and recover.
When his team was out on the field.
Yeah, but now he's got to go out and pitch.
Yeah.
But again, it's going to be fast. I mean, if Bieber gets in trouble in the second, you're John Schneider, you're like, I don't know what to tell you. Our long man went 4 innings last night. So it will be a really fascinating game to see how both teams respond after an 18-inning marathon, 6-hour marathon last night. So, but I think the Dodgers are in much more prime position than the Toronto Blue Jays.
All right, we're going to check traffic before we get to the top of the hour. College basketball season's about to start.
How much longer do we have to wait?
Got the final Monday is the official first day of college basketball season. We had our final preseason bracketology coming out as well. Give you an update on the Aztecs heading into the year. Coming up after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Toyota Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. People are not doing a very good job of navigating our roads this morning, guys. I'm sick of talking about all these accidents. Northbound 5, got this one clearing up just past SeaWorld Drive. Another crash clearing northbound 805 right before Plaza Boulevard. Let's see, westbound King Freeway at Euclid. There is a collision in the center divide. Up ahead, an accident clearing right before the 5 southbound side of the 805, right at the westbound King Freeway connector ramp, a collision in the center divide. South 125 jumping into the act now. Got a crash just before Lemon. It's in the center divide. North 5 coastline accident just past the racetrack. We moved over to the right shoulder. Up ahead, a crash clearing just past Loma Santa Fe. Got a few other things going on here, guys, but I'm running out of time here, and I got to read this spot. Toyota Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today, with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
That was a long traffic report. Thank you, Kelly. So the Aztecs will play their final exhibition game tomorrow night, hosting crosstown rival USD at 7 p.m. at Viejas Arena. This morning, ESPN, Joe Lunardi came out with his final preseason bracketology. He has the Aztecs slotted in as a 7 seed in his very early bracket. Now, doesn't matter until the games are actually played, but we do have a reason for optimism, college basketball fans in San Diego. Last week while we were gone, the Mountain West media unanimously selected San Diego State as their pick to win the conference. Every single voter, I think 26, and they rarely all agree. They all pick San Diego State for first place this year.
Don't be the kiss of death.
I know.
I'd like to be under the radar.
Well, they're not going to be under the radar with the number of players returning. 3 all-conference preseason selections, including preseason player of the year Miles Byrd, as well as Magoon Guath and Reese Dixon Waters, coming off of the entire missed season last year with the broken foot, the stress fracture, returns as a preseason all-conference member. And they also voted freshman LZ Harrington as the preseason freshman of the year. So talk about an intimidating roster for San Diego State. 3 all-conference preseason players, the preseason freshman of the year, and the unanimous selection by everybody to win the league in your last year in the Mountain West. The expectations are about as sky high as Brian Dutcher has ever seen them at San Diego State this year.
Yeah, the pressure's on, right? Like that's what you want, though. That's what you want if you're that team. Again, I think the biggest challenge for them is going to be, where do I play all these good players and when and how much?
Like how does LZ Harrington, the freshman of the year, get regular rotation minutes with so many returning veteran players? He's such a good story too. Remember, this is the kid from St. John Bosco up in Orange County area, 4-star recruit. He had first committed to Harvard. He's really smart. His parents were both like professors, but then his dad got sick and he decided to want to stay closer to home. And he said, I'm going to go to USC instead. But then his dad passed away and he thought, USC wasn't the best fit for me, and changed his mind and decided to come to San Diego State. And his dad's advice before he passed away, I loved this quote, was be good enough to go to Duke and smart enough to go to Harvard.
Yeah.
Essentially, he has lived up to that.
That's really cool.
And he's been picked the freshman of the year, but there's so many good players at San Diego State. It's really going to be a challenge for Dutch to, find the right rotation and minutes for everybody to get there. You want your players who are shooting well in a rhythm. You don't want to take them out, but you also don't want to just bury guys on the bench and not have an opportunity to play in some of these games as well. So that's going to be one of the real early season questions, is how he kind of sets up his minutes.
Well, and think about it in baseball, we talk about it all the time, managing egos, managing the locker room. Like Dutch has to do that. Now you're not dealing with guys. One guy's making 300 million, one guy's making 10, you know what I mean? Like it's different. I understand that. But these guys are still elite athletes. They have egos. They've been the best player on any team they've ever been on. Like that does take some real good coaching right there to make sure everybody can get their minutes, everybody can understand their roles, what lanes they have with different, rotations out there. But I cannot wait. I mean, when your biggest problem
too many good guys
is with too many good players, Cadillac.
Don't forget about the transfers too. They have Sean Newman, who was, I think, third in the nation in assists last year. They have Jeremiah Oden, the 6'9" forward they got in the transfer portal, who is supposed to be Magoon Guath's kind of replacement if he was going to go out in the draft. But Magoon Guath is back. And I had totally forgot about Latrell Davis. He was like 6th man of the year in the Mountain West candidate for San Jose State. He came down and is part of this roster as well. It's an abundance of riches this year for Brian Dutcher.
Well, and the team looked deep last year, and then Reese got hurt, right? And then you start scrounging a little bit. It usually works itself out one way or the other. But I'm more looking forward to this season than any season before. This is going to be a blast just to watch. They're such a fun brand of basketball to watch. It's an enjoyable product. Like every time you watch an Aztecs game, yeah, man. Like last year, little bit chuck and duck early, but man, they figured it out, and guys started to score. They had to make up for that injury to Reese, and guys were trying to do too much. And you definitely expect more from Miles Bird this year. Like he's going to be healthy. They're nasty.
I think
they are
back,
nasty.
Like I was pretty frustrated often with Miles Bird last year, and I think in the moment I feel justified. But looking back on it now, a season later, you're like, man, I don't know that he was fully expecting to be the guy last year, and then Reese got hurt.
The other thing about Miles is that you can count on 100% effort every single time.
He's a dog.
The results may not always be there. The dude is never going to leave anything on the court.
I have no problem with him being the dude this year.
No question.
All right, so that is next week. They start on Tuesday, is their first game against Long Beach State officially. So 1 week from today. We'll come back. Reindl Report headlines in the final hour of Ben and Woods next on 97.3 The Fan.
How many rules are we going to change for this guy, Ben? All of them?
I'm just
Should we just
throwing out the hypothetical.
Should we just let him hit front toss? Pitcher moves an L screen in, and you just flip Shohei front toss.
So, yeah, we discussed earlier, like, what does baseball do? If every team decided to just walk Shohei Ohtani. Every time, that would be a problem for baseball. He's a marquee player, a star commodity. People don't buy tickets to see him walk every time. They want to see him swing the bat and hit home runs. Is there a way you could combat it? And Mike Petriello, our MLB.com friend, actually threw out an idea last night that's not totally insane. It's a little bit insane.
It's totally
insane. A little bit insane, not totally insane. And his suggestion was, if you really needed to combat that, first intentional walk, guy goes to first. You intentionally walk the same guy a second time, he goes to second. You do it a third time, he goes to third. That will limit the number of intentional walks. Because if you also push the runners, like if the bases are loaded and you intentionally walk them a third time, you just cleared the bases.
Yeah,
so you then have to pitch to the guy. He didn't really give it a lot of thought until people started responding. You go, well, how do you prevent them from just pitching around guys? And he goes, well, you could say that if it's a 4-pitch walk and no ball touches the strike zone, that counts as an intentional walk. So if it's a second time, he goes to second base on that 4-pitch walk. It's totally insane, but it's also kind of intriguing.
You can't tell me if I as the pitcher go, all right, I'm not giving this guy anything to hit. So you're gonna get 4 sliders in the dirt, and he doesn't swing. He doesn't swing,
and that would apply to any batter. So
then
if you threw a 4-pitch walk that didn't touch a plate, that counts as an intentional walk. Now it's the first time he just goes to first,
right.
But if you do that again to the same guy in a future at bat, he would go to second base that time.
I think that could potentially pose as dangerous to hitters. I mean, maybe you're like, well, I can't leave one over the plate, and I can't intentionally walk.
A hit batter
now,
would count as an intentional walk as well.
Pound it inside,
throw at him.
and just if you hit him, you hit him.
Yeah.
Oh well, darn. Now he goes to first. Like you're not going to feel bad about hitting hitters anymore.
No. Yeah, Barry Bonds existed. Everyone,
he did.
And
it was discussed back then that it wasn't great. People were buying tickets to see a home run chase, and they'd go to a game and see 3 intentional walks instead. I'm not arguing for
I don't
it.
know, man.
I'm simply throwing out the hypothetical as to what it would look like if they tried to combat that.
Let's tell the NFL they can't run the football with a lead to bleed clock. Let's just get rid of let's just make everybody have to throw. I mean, it's just look, the guys are great.
Patrick Mahomes tucks the ball and runs, you're not allowed to hit him.
Right. Yeah, I think they already have that.
Do.
They kind of have that rule.
They're trying to get rid of the tush push. I mean, other sports are trying it.
No, I mean, look, he's the best player of the generation, no question. And they're giving him extra treatment. Like K-Law says, they should be handicapping him. They should tell him he has to swing right-handed twice a game. If you really want to make it exciting.
David J says, it was a stupid idea. It doesn't have to be entertained. A lot of people thought the pitch clock was a stupid idea. I disagree with that now. I think it was a really good idea.
A lot of people thought those bigger bases was a dumb idea.
The Manfred
bases.
Man we thought was kind of a stupid idea.
I like it now.
People thought that banning the shift was kind of a dumb idea.
Still maybe.
Some people do, some people don't. But there was always rules in place. Like you can't line up a defender in foul territory.
Right.
That was banning a certain kind of shift. I don't know why you'd want to do it, but if a guy is always pulling line drives foul, you can't line up a guy in foul territory. They've always had rules telling you where you can and can't line up. They just modified them a couple of years ago, saying also you can't do this and you have to have your feet on the dirt if you're an infielder. Sports are based on rules. Just because we're used to one set of rules doesn't mean they can't change them to something else.
I'm not changing them for one guy, though. They've already changed the Ohtani rule for Ohtani.
It's not an Ohtani rule, though. Like if Fernando Tatis Jr. gets drilled twice in a game, he gets second base instead of first if they don't throw him a strike. It would apply to everybody, not just Shohei Ohtani.
I get it, but the impetus for the change is Shohei Ohtani being walked in the World Series.
Yes, it would be.
Right. Sean J says baseball is dying. It's actually not. It's actually better,
growing,
and healthier than it ever has. But yeah, they literally have the rule about staying into DH if you're a pitcher for Shohei Ohtani. So he does, in fact, have his own rule. Now, every other team could say, I want my guy to pitch and hit. Would he be as effective as Shohei Ohtani? Probably
Correct.
not.
Which is why I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah.
If you've got a rule that kind of is dumb, like why wouldn't you have a unicorn like that be able to do both things? Why would you hamstring the Dodgers? There was no reason why the guy couldn't stay in and hit after he pitched. They just kind of codified it, and they didn't have a reason to do it until he came along, and then they realized, yeah, we probably should have had this rule all along. Why?
I do wonder
if you're that good and you can hit and you can also pitch, why would we make you come out of the game after you're done pitching?
Let me ask you a question, and maybe the next one is in a garage hitting baseballs right now and throwing against a fence somewhere. Why wouldn't more teams try to do this with what they have with him? Why wouldn't more teams try it? I know there's been flirtations with it over the years. Michael Lorenzen maybe is one that would hit every now and then. I think for
when the Padres acquired Jake Cronenworth, it was the idea that he might be both a pitcher and a hitter.
They won't even let him get mop-up duty.
I know, but
maybe this manager
there
will.
There was a thought about it when he was first acquired that he might be a two-way player. I think the reason why is it's incredibly difficult to do both at a high level.
But clearly not impossible.
Not impossible.
Not impossible. So guys have done it before. Not to maybe these accolades, but you do wonder, are teams, because the Padres just drafted a kid. It's a really good hitter, really good pitcher. Was it Cruz, Schoolcraft, maybe?
I don't think it was him, but there was one of the guys was a really good hitter as well.
Yeah, and they asked immediately, like first question, they're like, no, he's going to focus on pitching 100%. So I can see it, man. When you spend a lot of money on a guy, you want him to be a specialist, right? But the what he brings is just so outstanding and incredible and so beneficial to your team. It's 2-for-1 on the roster. Like, that's pretty great. I just wonder when and if it will happen.
It was Cruz Schoolcraft.
Was it?
He was
okay.
Also a great hitter. Yeah.
Yeah. And they just said, nope, you're going to be a pitcher. Okay. And I have no problem with that. None whatsoever. But if a guy comes up and he's in, it doesn't have to be in Japan. If he's in college or something, he's like, bro, I am a two-way player. That's what I want to do. I want to hit and I want to pitch. When will it start happening in baseball? It's such a copycat.
I see Travis Hunter in the NFL, like trying to push
How's
the boundaries
that going
of being
for him, by the way?
Two-way player.
Pretty good.
I think not bad. I mean, he's certainly getting chances on both sides. He's not out there for every single play, but he's doing it as a two-way player on the next level.
Yeah, for sure. But it will be interesting to see if there's anybody that attempts to do anything close to this, or is he truly just a once-in-a-generation player? I think he is. Until somebody comes along to supplant him, they would have to be really, really good.
I mean, I don't think it's been a small sample size.
No, it's been big enough.
You can call him the best baseball player that has ever lived.
I think that's probably fair.
I mean, you have to be so good at both that no matter who your team is, they just can't dream of stopping you.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
Like you keep going back, and like Babe Ruth was always the guy.
Sure.
Because he could pitch and hit home runs. But when you go back and actually look at his career, he was a really good pitcher. Didn't hit. Then he became a really good hitter and didn't pitch. Like, we've never seen it at this level. Cy Young, MVP type stuff, both sides of the game. It's never been done.
Yep.
All right, let's get to some headlines, stuff that we've missed. It is time for the Reindl Report. And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Happy Tuesday, gentlemen.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Let's get started here. A little college football for you. This is kind of becoming a little bit of a weekly tradition. What did Lane Kiffin say or do this time? I think we talked about him last week. He was making like
fat jokes. Kirby Smart. They're buddies, by the way.
I know. And so now we have another instance. Now, I'm trying to think. I think we all, as sports fans, have absolutely done this. You lose, your team loses a big game, or maybe it's a team that you play on. You lose a game and you go, I know we lost. I understand that. I still feel like we're the better team.
Of course.
Right?
All the time.
There's times you just get your butts kicked and you're like, ew, it was not happening.
Flush it.
But you remember those games. You're like, I feel like we're the better team, even though they won and we lost. So we got a little bit of a situation going here now where Lane Kiffin, who is the head coach of Ole Miss, they beat number 13 Oklahoma over the weekend, 34-26. That was the number 8 Ole Miss Rebels taking on the number 13 Sooners. And here is what Lane Kiffin had to say in his news conference this week.
Your thoughts following the game? Coach Brent Venables said he felt like he had the better team. Just your overall thoughts.
That's an interesting take. That's a hot take. A better team. I wouldn't have thought that people watching would say that. I felt that we won at their place, and whether that as a defensive head coach you would normally wish for, and won by 8 points. And I think we left a lot out there. I think we should have won by a couple scores. So I don't know how he evaluated that game, that they were the better team. I mean, we had way more yards, 21 first downs to 14, and we played 87 plays of offense, and they had 1 sack and didn't force any turnovers. That's a interesting take, but whatever he needs to say.
And also following up to road trips.
Maybe
to Georgia.
they had the better team last year too, and we beat them. Sorry.
Following up on the road against Georgia.
Maybe we had the better team in Oklahoma when we beat them 55-19.
Oh my God. He can't stop.
Maybe you had the better team at Clemson when we beat them 45-40 in the national championship at Alabama.
Oh my God.
Next question. My bad.
Oh my God.
Legend, dude.
Amazing.
Legend. He can't stop. Yeah. What about this? What about this? What about this? Sounds like my wife arguing with me, to be honest with you. Oh, well, you did this.
Okay. Interesting. No,
And then that one time you forgot to do this.
That is some good college football.
That's great.
Coach audio.
He's
right
great.
there. Oh,
I
love
like
that.
him more and more every week.
He's great when he wins.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Lane Kiffin.
Of course.
When he
think so.
doesn't, it doesn't work quite as well. But
You lunatic.
he's winning right now.
All right. Well, quickly here, one quick story in the NBA. I thought this was interesting. The Pacers made a transaction yesterday. They have cut former number 2 draft pick James Wiseman, and they did that to create a roster spot for Mac McClung.
I saw that.
Oh, the dunk kid.
Who has won the last 3 straight dunk contests, but he's a G League
Out of the G
player.
League.
He's had a cup of coffee here and there in the NBA, come up on a 10-day contract or something, and then goes right back down. And he is finally, for the first time in his career, signing a multi-year professional contract with the Indiana Pacers. He's out of the G League. And like, I don't know if he's going to amount to much in the NBA. I don't know what his actual game really looks like outside of dunking, but I know at 6'2", he can jump out of the gym, and that's just a familiar name now. You've seen he's won the last 3 dunk contests, was not in the NBA, which is kind of amazing in and of itself. And now he's got his first big multi-year contract.
I mean, dunking doesn't necessarily make you a good NBA player.
Right.
There's no defense in a dunk contest.
Right.
So, but he certainly has the athletic ability. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, and enough for them to say, yeah, we're going to give you a multi-year deal and you're part of the team and actually make, big league money.
I mean, imagine being like a AA or AAA baseball player, but you win the home run derby in Major League Baseball for 3 years in a row. And you're like, I got called up in September for like 3 games last year. That was fun.
And then they sign you to a huge,
and then finally you get that multi-year deal.
Yeah, it's cool.
Pretty cool.
Good for him. Seems like a good dude.
All right, then finally we'll wrap it up here with just a funny story. Now, this actually was like a month ago, but we didn't talk about it, so it might as well be new. Why it popped up today, I'm not totally sure, but did you guys know that? So I've seen videos of like some of the really fancy, smart toilets that they have, like in Japan and across the world. Well, China's currently got a situation where if you use a public restroom, they have smart toilet paper dispensers. They want to be able to control, you don't want just somebody to run in there and rip
like
off
my
a
cats
whole roll of
clog the
toilet paper.
toilets.
Right.
So that does make sense. You actually will have to either pay money for a few squares of toilet paper, or
Look at him. He's going to bring a rag with him in his pocket.
gross. If you don't want to pay the small amount of money that it costs, you can take out your phone. Well, actually, you have to use your phone either way because you got to pay for the
scan the QR code.
And then you scan a QR code, and then you can either pay 50 cents or whatever for the toilet paper, or watch an ad.
Oh no!
And
so
then
it's
it
not free.
will.
You just have to watch an ad. That's fine.
Yeah, this Instagram account that I found, they showed like a real example of how it works. You scan the app, you watch a short ad, and at the end of it, if you don't just pay the money, it rolls out like 8 squares of toilet paper.
That's like, I left my rag in my car. My chamois. I left my chamois at home. Damn it. I have a problem with public bathrooms lately. A couple weeks ago, finish up the show on a Friday. My psychiatrist's office is in Vista. It's a bit of a piece to get there, about 30 minutes. You guys know how I do. Drink a couple of these throughout the course of a show, gallon or two of water before I leave.
Yep.
Get in the car, forget to go before I get it in the car. Drive all the way there. I'm like a 6-year-old. I'm holding it, running in like a 6-year-old, running in, holding it. Go into their office. Now it's a reception free office. It's just a waiting room, and you press a button, and then the gal comes out to get you and brings you back. So I walk in, and on the table, there's usually 2 bathroom keys. They're not there.
Oh no.
So I go, okay. So what do I do? All right, Woodsy, let's think. So I walk out, I look in the lobby, and I see this auto leasing company or something in front of me. Doors are wide open. They have 2 ladies sitting at the desk. So I walk up, I say, excuse me. First thing I did, I went and checked the bathrooms, and I listened. There was no one in there. No one. It was dead quiet, men and women. So I walk back into the other office. And I said, can I get, I'm sorry to bother you. I have an appointment across the way, and their bathroom keys are gone, and there's no one in the restroom. And they're like, sorry.
You need to lease a car first.
I go, I just need the key. I'll bring it right back. They're like, no. Shockingly. And I go, oh, okay.
What's this like? All right, I really got to go. What's the APR on
Yeah,
that? I'll take it.
I honestly was about to go out to the bushes in the office park. But my question is,
they just said no.
They said no. They said, oh, no. You have nope. There was no explanation.
No empathy there.
No empathy.
Like,
just no.
Just sorry. No.
Just no.
We don't. I said, oh, okay.
I mean, I get when there's a business and restrooms are for employees only,
Sure.
and they don't maintain
This
it
was
for
in the
public.
hallway.
But this is, you clearly can use the restroom. You have used the restroom before.
My question is, can we move on from the keys to the bathroom everywhere? What's in the bathroom that is so great? Like, why do we have in an office building? Why do I have to have a key to go? Why, even in a gas station, why do I need a key to go to use your restroom? What do you think I'm going to do in there? You think I'm going to set up shop, be a squatter? Am I going to camp out there?
Not you, but unfortunately, that is the concern that some people will.
Then you call security and you get them out. You don't need a key to the bathroom everywhere. Everywhere I go now, like, I go up. You need a code. What's the code?
Every golf course I go to, the bathroom has a
giant
4-digit code now to get in. You need to know the code. Usually, a cart will tell you what the code is as you go by. But if you didn't have a cart, you wouldn't know what the code is. You couldn't get in.
KG, though, says it's because of junkies. I wish I was joking. You're telling me there's a junkie in an office park in Vista tying one off in there?
Probably.
At this, but there's a million places to go.
Like, there's people everywhere, though. But I don't know. The key, the bathroom key.
Enough with it. We're over it.
Especially like when you're a grown ass adult, and you got to walk through the building.
A code is fine. Because then I could have gone across the hall, or they could have had in the office, code is 2525, right? I go in across the hall. Oh, yeah, I just used 6969. I go in and do it, and I'm done. I got to lug this key. Somebody stole the keys. They pocketed them, and they
that's
left.
why they tie like a shoelace.
There's a
and
big
then
ass,
they tie it to like a tambourine or something, and you're just like walking through the office with a giant cowbell,
an anvil behind you. God. I was like, enough. I'm literally about to urinate on myself. Can anybody let me in a bathroom? So I go back to finally get in the office, and she's like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm going to pee in my pants. She's like, oh, I know. Somebody stole them. We're working on getting. I have one. She has to take it off her key ring, follow me to the bathroom. Like, what's in here? Gold bars? Like, what are we doing? I was losing my mind. 7 minutes of my appointment was me in the bathroom. So, it's terrible. Enough. Let's have a little more trust in our fellow man. Okay.
I'm still thinking about the key attached to the tambourine.
Yeah. Yeah. Big bag of sand, dragging it back to the bathroom. It's just stupid. I'm over it.
Oh,
that's it. That's my rant.
All right, let's take a time out. When we come back, we will we'll continue on here with Ben and Woods. I wasn't ready for bathroom talk.
Stay tuned
right
guys.
now. Stay tuned for more next after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
All guests on Meadow Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Still talking about my pants.
I am still talking about your pants. I asked him again. His birthday is on Monday, right? Monday.
Correct.
His 50th birthday. The big 5-0.
The big 5-0.
Paulie and I, behind the scenes, we have so much stuff that we're working on. Planned. It's going to be a real special day for you. Seeing as how we missed it. Was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's one of the more mortifying days of my life. I've never really forgiven myself for it. He's always had that over me and us.
Have I ever said anything about it even once?
No, but
No,
I
but you
know.
could.
We know that it's there, and we know that it stung. It would have stung me badly.
I don't know. It's kind of my favorite birthday.
So Paulie and I spent probably 45 minutes on the phone yesterday going over a couple ideas for Monday, but also, what do you get this guy? We spent an inordinate amount of time trying to get you, because the 50th is a big one. It's a big one. Now, you gave me $150 to the hotel that I was staying at in England, in their phenomenal steakhouse. I used that, took my buddy Craig out to dinner, nice steak dinner, phenomenal steak dinner. And that was a great gift. You also re-gifted me some glasses that you got at us. So I'm going to pick up definitely a couple things from around the house to bring
Thank you.
These are Taylor's yogurts that he likes. Enjoy. But
I don't want to be accused of taking away Taylor's yogurts. He eats nothing else.
That's true. That you would literally be
now, if
starving.
he doesn't want his
really
cheese
hate
that
you.
sucks every day, maybe I'll take that from him.
His cheese, his Baby Bells.
Yeah, I like Baby Bell.
I know you do. So I asked him again, what do you want for your birthday? He's impossible.
I don't want to say I have a lot of ideas already for you. I have a couple of ideas, but then I start to play it out and I go, that's a good 51st birthday gift. That's a good 49th birthday
50th
gift.
is
50
bigger.
feels different.
It's different. It's bigger. It's a big one. And there's so much he won't buy for himself that I want. And I'm usually pretty good about knowing, but this one.
Do we just get him like a bunch of $50 gift cards to his favorite places?
God, the worst. It's so impersonal.
And he would love it though.
You're going to need to give us some ideas.
I have been thinking lately that I do need to do more for myself occasionally.
100%.
So perhaps something that I would not do for myself, but like a little pampering of some sort.
Some pampering.
Stroganoff. No, Paul. Something relaxing. Something.
What's more relaxing?
Something legal. Legal would be nice.
Legal. Legal, he says.
Something legal. Oh, it's just kid stuff. Floor mats for his car. And I'm not buying him floor mats for his car. Pampered. All right. So he wants to be pampered. I got you. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck with
I know
that.
exactly what.
I admit
I got you
am
as well.
I'm an incredibly difficult person to buy for.
Extremely. I've bought you every practical thing that you could use and won't use yourself, and 90% of it you don't even use.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's not hard to. It's not tough to wear AirPods, but you refuse. But you have them now.
I have them. I use them occasionally. I don't use them as often as you would probably like me to use them.
I use them every day,
for
like the majority
18
of
hours
my
a
day.
day. I have 2 pair now, like 18 hours a day. prostate exam. Someone. That's a practical gift.
Not practical.
It's practical.
I mean, I like
useful.
practical.
You like? I thought you were going to say I like prostate exam. Prostate exam is practical.
I will admit, anything that I would normally have to pay for that I then don't have to pay for, I always find that to be great. Like
That's
I was
true.
going to have to pay for this, now I don't.
Okay.
So it's hard. It's also hard to go wrong with me. It's
That's
hard.
true.
It's hard to figure something out, but once you do,
He'll also pretend that he likes it if he doesn't.
that's true too.
Which is
I'm very polite.
Which doesn't help.
It's very polite. It does
Very
not help.
polite.
All right, pamper. Okay.
If you would like to give me tickets to Snow Jam, just be the fifth caller right now at 833-288-0973 because you can win them at the moment. 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, November 7th through the 9th, good for all 3 days, plus a $100 gift card. There's 2 of your $50 gift cards right there. 833-288-0973, and you don't have to give them to me. You can keep them for yourself and your own family. Call now. We'll wrap things up with Ben and Woods coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Here's 5.
Woods is still thinking about my gift.
Still talking.
Doing a
About
See
live
now,
spot here.
a great day at 7 Mile Casino. That's a great gift.
That
for
is a
me.
good gift.
I love doing it. Now I've done that myself. I went last week and had an amazing lunch. I ordered off the 24/7 players menu, treated myself to a nice bowl of Kung Pao chicken. It was fantastic. Sat at the bar. It really was a nice hour that I spent at 7 Mile Casino. Spent a little longer sitting down at one of their incredible card tables, California style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow Poker, or Baccarat. Those are the 4 games. Woods, we always love going to 7 Mile Casino.
Yeah, the proximity obviously makes it ideal. The smoke-free environment also, plus no slot machines binging and bonging all day. You just go in, play cards, have a good time, have some good food. You can get in, you can get out. You can spend 10 hours there. You can spend 45 minutes, have lunch. It's easy. They'll take great care of you at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Humul Casino Resort, now open.
Congratulations to Liam on the Snow Jam tickets. We'll have more 4-packs to give away throughout the rest of this week, so stay tuned to Ben & Woods. Also want to wish a happy retirement to Seals defenseman Cam Holding.
My beloved.
Made the announcement this morning. Seals season is a little over a month away. I think their first game is mid-December. Holding, after 12 seasons in the National Lacrosse League, announcing his retirement this morning. Said just couldn't imagine going on in a league that did not have Stephen Woods in it.
I know.
Anymore,
I was going to say, like, I know that you took the news hard, but carry on, man. I'll still be coming to the games, Cam. But he's one of my favorite players ever, man. He's great.
You know, I was reading the press release about his retirement, and it reminds you that, you know, the NLL is different than Major League Baseball or the NBA. These guys, it's not their only job. You can't be a full-time lacrosse player and nothing else. And Cam Holding, while he was with the Seals, was also, I didn't know this, he was the project manager and construction manager for Rady Children's Field that they were building. So, you know, he'd put on his hard hat during the day, and then he'd go practice and play with the Seals on weekends and game days.
I've gone down to their headquarters before, their offices, like during the week, and he'll just be there, like answering phones, working at a desk. Like he's there during the week, and then he's playing on the weekends.
Cam was the GOAT, man. He's one of my favorite guys to get to know. Still text with him quite a bit. Great dude. Great player. Tough as nails. I mean, as tough as they come. Big loss for the Seals, but I'm looking forward to the season. You know, not being as involved as I was. I'm actually just excited to watch the games and go to the games and actually get to sit on eat a corn dog, you know, and not bang on the glass like I did before. But I'm certainly excited about it, man. They got a good team, got some new players, and Cam though is a big loss. So love you, Cam, if you're listening. He was a kind of the heart and soul type guy of that squad.
They're still looking for that title, though.
Still looking for that title.
They've
man.
had chances.
Yep.
Never got it done, though.
Nope, not yet.
Maybe this will be the year.
It probably will be since I'm gone. I mean, let's be honest.
It's possible.
It's probably going to be the case, which is fine.
Let's check traffic, and then we'll wrap things up. Look ahead. We got another World Series game tonight and more coming up here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Toyota of Poway, voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today. Wrapping up on a very busy note here, guys. Collision on eastbound 78 just past Sycamore. Got several vehicles in the center divide. Another crash reported past Woodland Parkway. This one's blocking the fast lane, and looks like another accident just before the 15 that has just been cleared out of lanes. Also, southbound 15 to the East 8 connector ramp. There's a collision involving a couple vehicles there over to the right shoulder. Traveling on West 54 National City Boulevard off-ramp, a collision northbound 125 past Spring Street. 2-vehicle accident in the center divide. Toyota of Poway has been voted San Diego's #1 Toyota dealer by USA Today, with APRs as low as 0% and tons of new Toyotas on the ground. No tricks, only treats during the Trucktober sales event happening now only at Toyota of Poway or online at toyotaofpoway.com in the heart of San Diego. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
One programming note, coming up this afternoon during the Gwynn and Chris program, the pair of Aztecs baseball alums will be joined by another prominent Aztecs baseball alum, Steven Strasburg.
Nice.
Is going to be on with the guys this afternoon at 2:40, so make sure you tune in, and he can talk about his return to San Diego State as an assistant to new head coach Kevin Vance. Not an assistant coach. He explained, I've got 2 girls. I got a lot of responsibilities. I'm not going to be out there grinding like the coaches are every single day, but he is going to be mentoring pitchers, offering some of his wisdom gleaned during his college and professional baseball career. You know, he did win a World Series championship.
Sure did.
With the Washington Nationals. So I'm sure he's got a lot to give back to that program, and he's going to be more a direct part of it going forward. And we'll join Gwynn and Chris this afternoon at 2:40.
Yeah, that's kind of the dream, man. You know, win a World Series, come back to your alma mater and help out any way you can. That's a total dream.
You know, it's a small world. I was reminded this weekend when I was playing golf with my buddy in Henderson. I think it was Saturday. We get paired with, a couple guys I don't know, just from Las Vegas. Like, why would I ever know them? And we're playing a few holes, and eventually the conversation gets to, oh, you're from San Diego. I used to live there a long time ago. Well, where'd you live? What'd you do? And he goes, yeah, I used to live on Mission Bay. And I said, oh, my grandparents used to live on Mission Bay. They lived right in that building with the volleyball court. My grandpa actually built that volleyball court. If you remember, he goes, I used to play there all the time. Wait, is your grandfather Clark Higgins? And I go, yes. And he goes, yeah, I knew your grandpa and your dad, and I used to play with them every single weekend. And I go, how is it possible that the world ends up putting you together with these random people where you have connections with them? It's like, that is unbelievable. I'm always amazed by how the world works.
I go to home plate to exchange lineups against a team that we played in Arizona, and they're from Alaska. And all these dudes are there, and I walk out and I'm, hey, how you doing? Steve Woods. And he goes, are you Woodsy from the radio? And I go, yeah. He goes, my brother is a huge listener of your guys' show. He listens every single day. He's coming to the game tonight. Wanted to say hello. I said, absolutely. I'm like, Alaska. They used to live in Alaska. One of them now lives in Arizona, but he's a huge Padres fan. Goes to spring training.
Can you just ship me out of Padres
jersey? Right. But I'm sitting there going, well, this is wild. And then I'm coaching third, and guys like, hey, Woodsy. I see him come up in his Jackson Merrill jersey. I'm like, this must be the dude. Went and said hello to him, and he listens every day. And that team ended up beating us in the playoffs and knocking us out. But bunch of good guys. And yeah, it is a very, very small world. Crazy.
Always incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Tonight, game 4 of the World Series. We've already kind of gone through it. What both teams are going to have to do to respond after the 18-inning marathon last night that didn't end until close to midnight. It'll be a test of a little bit of endurance. Everyone says they're available. When push comes to shove, though, can they both be available and effective when they go back out there on, limited rest and, throwing a lot of pitches the day before? That's ultimately going to determine how they fare in game 4 tonight.
Those medical trainers that we know so well with the Padres, those guys are working beyond overtime today. I mean, getting guys as close to ready as they possibly can. Adrenaline takes over a little bit.
Do they even tell Ohtani, just stay here tonight? We got a nice spot for you to rest, but we're going to have you on all of the 24-hour
the stim machines.
In a hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah. Right? What do you do? How do you get a team full of guys ready?
It wouldn't surprise me if they had hyperbaric chambers and things back there. The Dodgers spare no expense.
Ultimately, though, you only have to get them ready for, at most, 4 more games this season.
At most.
It's not as though you have to have the big, all right, well, we could use them today, but what does that mean for a month from now or 2 months from now? You're leaving everything left that you've got in the tank over the next 3-4 days. And that's it. So you don't have to have that necessarily long-term perspective anymore.
Yeah, and, the Dodgers tank is more full. They have put less mileage on a lot of the guys that they have in their bullpen currently, right? They have way less tread from the long season, the 162 plus spring training. A lot of guys spend a lot of time on the IL for the Dodgers. They are, and that was their strategy. They are better suited to win in October. If you're the Blue Jays, it is going to be a tremendous blow to look at the top of your lineup and have George Springer not be in it. I don't know what that means. Is Miles Straw now the new George Springer? Because that's not even close. And you know why Miles Straw was even there. They talked about it a little bit on the broadcast last night. they picked up Miles Straw to get more international money to go after Roki Sasaki, who, as everybody knew, was going to be a Dodger. So they acquired Miles Straw to get all this international money to give to Roki Sasaki. They end up facing each other in a huge spot in the game. It was truly one of those crazy full circle moments.
We never got into it, but one of the things that cost the Blue Jays last night was the decision to take out so many of their regulars, not just because of the injury, but pinch running. I mean, you don't really anticipate the game's going to go on for 18 innings, and guys like Miles Straw are going to get so many. Davis Schneider are going to get so many at bats later in the game, and you kept coming up to a situational lineup where it just felt like the Blue Jays had 2 or 3 innings there where they didn't have the bats available to put together any sort of rally. It was almost an escape hatch for the Dodgers bullpen going, this inning is not that big of a challenge. We just have to gear up for a couple of guys in their lineup, Vlad, and that's it. You know, Bo Bichette was taken out of the game as well, and they just didn't have Barger was taken out of the game. They didn't have the bats at the end that the Dodgers had still in their lineup.
Well, I'm looking at the guys that played last night for the Dodgers. They didn't even do – no, they had like Miguel Rojas came in the game.
And he ended up getting like 4 at-bats in the game, but –
no, he only had 2.
He had 2 and a walk, right? 3 total?
No walks, 2.
All right, just 2.
Alex Call got 3 ABs. You know, they didn't go to Justin Dean for defense or anything like that, like to pinch run even. They kind of stayed with their – look, if you go down the box score, you ready for this? Shohei had 9 ABs, right? 5 of them were walks. So 4 official. Mookie had 8. Freddie had 9. No, Mookie had 9. They had 9 at the top. Will Smith had 7. Muncy had 8. Teoscar had 9. No, 8. 8. Enrique Hernandez Kike had 5. Rojas came in. Pages had 5.
Rojas had a sacrifice, so he had 3 as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, and then the Blue Jays backups had 6, 10, 13, 17 at bats from guys who didn't start the game, which is quite a bit when you think about it. Now, was that a failing, or is that, wise that you think, hey, we're probably not going to get more than 1 more at bat this game. Let's put some speed out there. Let's, try to win it here with a runner on base. It kind of backfired on the Blue Jays.
The Addison Barger move, he's not a guy I'm taking out. The pinch hit grand slam the other night. Now they're going to have to use him now with Springer probably being out. He's probably going to be in the lineup every single day. The throw that he made last night to hose, who did he hose at the dish? Freeman. By 15 feet, threw it 98 miles an hour. Collected himself, had all the time in the world, and said, take a pause, take a breath, let it rip, and it was as picture perfect as you could get.
His arm rivals Tatis's arm 100%. Out there in right field.
He is nasty. So he's a guy that's going to make plays for you. I'm leaving him out. Like, I'm not pulling him. He's going to stay in. The dude they put in for him wasn't much faster, I don't think. I don't think Straw's that much faster than him, and, you definitely missed that bat. So, they went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pitchers last night, and you just said how many position players? How many extra position players?
They had 5 extra position players come in, taking 17 at bats in that game.
It's crazy,
And they're not taking. The Dodgers quietly, like Pages has had a disastrously bad postseason. Yeah. Muncy and Will Smith were 1 for 13 with 7 strikeouts last night. They are beatable.
Yeah, they are.
But you can't let Ohtani and Freeman come through the way that they have. And that's just, they're beatable. They haven't been performing like they're capable of. If Pages was his 26 home run self batting 9th, you'd go like, there's just no way to beat this team. But Kike had been struggling. He did get a couple of hits yesterday, but struck out 3 more times. He's had a tough last few days. There are holes in their lineup at the moment, but the Blue Jays just aren't taking advantage of them enough the last couple of games.
No, had opportunities early in the game to really get to glass. Now the umpire didn't help them very much, as we all know. We saw that play, but they just you got to be smarter. You got to be smarter on the base paths. You have to Continue to protect the baseball, not kick the ball around. It was an ugly game. I mean, as great as it was, 18 innings is awesome. It was ugly. There was really bad base running. There were really bad throws. There were really bad sends. Guys were getting hosed at third all night. Guys were getting thrown out at second. Guys were getting thrown out at home. You got to clean it up on both sides, really. And tonight's just going to be a war of attrition. That's what it's going to be. And I like the Dodgers' chances because they have Shohei Ohtani, the cyborg, on the mound for them tonight, throwing 100. And the other team has Shane Bieber. So I'm leaning heavily. Dodgers go up 3-1 after tonight's game at 5.
Will Justin Bieber be back at the game wearing a Shane Bieber jersey again?
I saw that.
He is a Blue Jays fan.
Yeah, he is. He's from Canada. Yeah. So should be a good one, man. But I think this is probably the nail is halfway in the coffin.
It does feel like we're coming back tomorrow morning at 6 to talk about a 3-1 Dodgers lead.
No doubt.
But we'll watch the game and make sure.
100%.
All right, that's it for us. Braden, Italian Paul coming up next. We will be back again at 6 a.m. tomorrow with 4 more hours. Great job, as always, by our executive producer, Paul Reindl. For Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Tuesday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.